freshman last year, played on a bad Penn State team, and it's really hard to see just by watching some of the tape that I was able to watch on him how he is as a team defender, because that whole team was terrible defensively. Out of all the power conference schools, it was one of the worst defensive teams in the power conference. But he's got a great athletic skill set. He, as a point guard, is a very strong finisher at the rim. He's not overly imposing with size, but he is still a 60+% finisher at the basket when he gets the basket. Got to the basket with a lot of regularity. He did have a high steal rate. Now, the thing with steals, sometimes you get steals because you're just gambling a lot, and then oftentimes you get beat. Well, Mike Rhodes, the coach at Penn State, used to coach at VCU, is part of the coaching defensive havoc type, coaching tree.
In my mind, I see Malaysia Fulwale playing defense.
Yeah,
a lot of steals, but also
high risk, high reward stuff. If you are a really good coach, you can maybe coach that out of him, right? But the steal rate, that means there are some defensive instincts there that I think you can work with. He is not a three-point shooter at all. Sub 30% three-point shooter would totally put him in the classification as a non-shooter.
Which is okay if that's not what we're asking him to do.
What I would be asking my point guard to do in an offense like this, facilitate the offense. And he has an incredibly high assist rate, one of the higher assist rates in the Big Ten.
And this is why roles are so important, because you don't want to bring somebody in who's not a three-point shooter and ask him to start shooting three-pointers, or to ask him to fit into an offense that's not what they're designed to do. And that's why I think even more so in the portal times, the coach having a distinct identity of how they want to play is even maybe more so important now than it's ever been, because you have to go out and find people that fit what you're attempting to do.
And he certainly had the highest assist rate on that Penn State team. I think almost 30% of the assists that were made while he was on the floor came from him. Mm-hmm. Certainly the type of player that's very interesting, and he was a freshman, so there's still some room to grow. Again, 6'3", so it's not daunting size, but good point guard size. That's a player I'm really interested in. The other one, mid-major find, but as somebody who graduated from a school in Conference USA, I would watch some Conference USA basketball, and I was always really impressed by watching Franquan Sherman play at Kennesaw State. Now, that whole team was built very interestingly. Now, their coach was a former Nate Oates assistant at Alabama, and they run a very similar style offense. They shoot a lot of threes. They have great size. Franquan Sherman was a kind of like a small forward, big wing, I would say is what his position is, because he can play small forward, power forward, shooting guard, whatever. He kind of played three different positions. And I kind of classify who you are as a basketball player positionally based off who you guard. And those are the type of players that he was guarding throughout the season. But a ton of positional versatility at 6'7". Again, a non-shooter, so you're going to have to supplement with shooters. This is assuming you're getting Corey Mincy, so that's one of the shooting aspects of this. But a really good two-point scorer, a very reliable two-point scorer. Could get to the basket, finishes through contact, great at drawing fouls, and he's a really good free throw shooter. Which tells me, because he's north of 75% from the free throw line, meaning there is some room to grow with a three-point shot that can be developed. But a big wing, great defensive player, top 80 in the country in offensive and defensive rebounding percentage. You got bullied on the boards last year. And rebounding isn't just something that you need your bigs to do. You need other players that are in the lineup to be able to effectively do that. And in terms of players that are under 6'9", Franquan Sherman is one of the best rebounders in college basketball because he was asked to do that. Now, Kennesaw State had a lot of size, except in the front court. They didn't have a starter, I don't think that was over 6'9", but they had all their starters at least between 6'5" to 6'7" or 6'8", right? So they had a lot of similar dudes there. But he was asked to do a lot of rebounding, and he did a ton of it. Again, top 80 in the entire country of all players in Division I in offensive and defensive rebounding.
When do we start hearing these names come in? When does this start happening?
It needs to start happening soon. Like, time is of the essence.
There's an end date, but we are in start date time, so we could start hearing these things anytime now. I
would like to even hear things of like what we heard about Yigatoglu where there's no visit yet, but of high interest. I'd like to hear the leaks of high interest, right? Because that means you're prepared, right? You're prepared for if that guy hit the portal, you want to go get him. Because again, time is of the essence. Once this thing opens and other people are taking visits, it's likely they're able to go somewhere else. I think last year you had a couple early on, and then you started going into your secondary options. Get as many of those primary targets as you possibly can. That's my big thing, is try to get as many of those targets as humanly possible, because now that this thing is open, things are going to start moving at a rapid pace. There's a really good chance that we are seeing some of the bigger names in the portal snatched up by the time we come back in here on Monday morning. Again, one of them already, J.P. Estrella from Tennessee, already signed with Michigan. I wonder how Tennessee's season ended this past year. Oh, it was against Michigan. Tampering, maybe. I don't know.
Handshake line
said, hey, Dusty May probably said, hey, buddy, you'd look really good in maize and blue next year. And JP goes, you know what? That does kind of match my style a little bit. You know, blue is my color. Maybe that's how that went down. I don't know. It could be many different things. But coming up next, Lenore Sellers did speak earlier this week. The big story for him this spring is that he's on offensive coordinator number 3 in 3 years. But how is he adjusting to life playing under Kendall Briles? We'll hear what he had to say coming up next.
Wow, what a play. The Game Network, Columbia, Charleston, Florence, and Myrtle Beach.
South Carolina men's head basketball coach Lamont Paris is coming back next year, and Coach Paris has to fill out his roster, so the transfer portal will be vital to success in 2026-27.
All this isn't about just NIL. I think there are a lot of components to putting a team together. How do pieces fit together? What does a player play? The fashion and style of ball that you would like roles are important.
And the Game will dig into every player.
Even what they ate in elementary school.
On your home of everything Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game
And the Game Network.
Press here for our friends at Absolute Glass, the premier glass company of the Midlands, offering auto, home, and business glass repair. If your glass is damaged, shattered, cracked, or broken, they can handle the job. If it's a cracked windshield, no problem. They'll come out to your location and they'll replace it for you, usually for free, and they'll work directly with the insurance to take away the headache. That's right. They'll come out to wherever you are, school, home, work, it does not matter. Absolute Glass will come out to you and take care of the job for you. Now, if you're at home, you look to increase the value of your home, Absolute Glass can do that for you too. Windows, mirrors, shower enclosures. I say it all the time. If you can see through it, Ray and Marianne at Absolute Glass can do it. So check them out online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com. That's online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com.
Sponsored by Castle Brothers Home Services. CastleBros.com.
Replacing your HVAC system doesn't have to wait. Plan now, pay less later. Use your tax refund and save over $1,500 on a new system from Castle Brothers with low monthly payment options available. Call on Castle for comfort made easy. Visit CastleBros.com.
Hey, that was our exit. We're gonna miss the first pitch.
Just gotta make a stop at Kroger. I promised I'd bring nachos.
Nice. You have the Upside app too, right?
Upside? What's that?
Upside is a free app that gets you cash back when you buy groceries. And they just added Kroger stores in Columbia.
Wait, I can get money back just for buying groceries?
Yep. And right now, you can get an extra $10 bonus on your first Kroger trip with the app. That's up to $25 cash back on one grocery run.
Even this Kroger store right here?
Yes. Now pull over. Let's get some cash back on those nachos.
Upside is now available for Kroger stores in the Columbia area. Download the free Upside app and use promo code FAM3 to get a $10 bonus on your first purchase at Kroger. That's promo code FAM3. Remember, use promo code FAM3.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Some things are meant to be together. Perfect pairs. The combos we all know and love. Like beaches and sand in your toes. A good book and the park. Or sleepy mornings and Mickey D's. It's undeniable. My personal favorite pair to help me start the day? The toasty $2.69 sausage McMuffin with egg paired with a $2 any size iced coffee. With 20 grams of protein in one sandwich and bold coffee to power my day, there's no doubt I'd call it the perfect McDonald's match. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Columbia, Josh loves the spring, but he hates to paint, so he called Rhino Shield.
We have a cedar-sided home at the edge of the woods, painted like 1980s beige. We wanted something that was more of a mid-century modern look. We were driving around and we saw a sign in somebody's yard that said Rhino Shield. It's not paint.
It's not paint, it's better.
We gave Rhino Shield a call, and they were fantastic with the arrangement on the schedule. The 25-year guarantee was important to us. This is our forever home, and we want to make sure that whatever we're doing is going to last a long time.
Columbia, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield now for 15% off the regular price.
I'd say if you're thinking about Rhino Shield, just do it. It's been 2 years now, and it still looks like the day it went on.
Here's owner Dan Hoey.
This offer's limited, so call today at 833-RHINO-99 or visit RhinoShieldCarolina.com. Don't paint.
Don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Don't paint. Don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Want to unlock the power of athlete marketing to grow your business? Garnet Trust has recently launched a business membership program, making it easier than ever for your business to work directly with a USC student athlete. Visit garnettrust.com today or call 803-250-1765 to see your business boom.
Everybody loves streaming till you have to pay for it. Just download the 107.5 The Game app and stream us for free. It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow or even free signage for your lot? Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
We have a report of a grass fire, Percival Road at Screaming Eagle Road. And I will say that there is concern for that because of the lack of rain. So do be careful if you're doing things outside. But again, that may be impacting traffic a little bit as they work to get that put out. Percival at Screaming Eagle Road. No rain in the forecast, like we mentioned. Sunshine today, 79 for the high, 85 and 86 Saturday and Sunday, and we stay in the 80s for the early part of next week before we actually get into the 90s. But sunny skies will prevail. Right now, 45 on 107.5 The Game.
With former Gamecock Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen on the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube.
One of the main characters here for this South Carolina football team, if we looked at South Carolina football, kind of like a television show, and this is a new season. And one of the main characters will be Lenora Sellers for a lot of reasons. Totally new offensive line, new offensive coordinator, bouncing back from a disappointing 4-8 season, trying for him to up his draft stock to be able to be a first-round pick in the NFL draft next season. A lot of things, a lot of big opportunities here for Lenora Sellers with a lot of new moving parts. So when he comes up to the podium to speak, we have a lot of questions to ask Preston Thorne. And I think we can go ahead and start by talking with, Lenoris here, by asking maybe the most obvious one. Like, Lenoris, you're playing in a new offensive coordinator, your third offensive coordinator in 3 seasons. How are you adapting to this new offense?
Yeah, I think just. Oh
no.
The CD's skipping.
Labatt is broken. Oh no.
The clone, they set the clone up there.
Unplug him. We have to unplug him and plug him back in. Oh, is there a cartridge we have to take out and kind of blow on it real quick? Just like unplug it and just and then plug it back in?
I almost sounded like a donkey or something. That was great. Okay, let's try this again.
What do you think? Let's try it again. Lenoris, reboot, turn him off.
Rebooting for press conference question. All right. Unplugged, plugged back in. Okay. Hope we have Lenoris and not La Robot. To avoid any malfunctions. Let's try it again. All right, Lenoris, take 2. How are we adapting to the new offense so far? Oh no, we broke it. We broke it.
There's literally no sound coming out. What on earth?
The deep state doesn't want us to know what's going on in Gamecock practices. Oh no.
What he was going to reveal is too much for you to handle.
It was way too much for us to handle.
Well, maybe he doesn't want to answer that question, so maybe go to the second question.
Well, okay, if you don't want to answer that one, Lenoris, well, I know with the new offense, you have a new offensive line. How does it feel working with the new center, Carter Miller? No?
Oh, he doesn't want to answer that one either.
All right, man.
It's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool. It's fine.
No problem.
I'd be excited to work with Carter Miller, though. Man's played a lot of football.
5th-year senior, UCF?
Yeah. I feel like, and talked to him a little bit at the transfer port, or I guess incoming transfer media day they did a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
All those dudes seem to be really excited to play in this offense. They love the up-tempo stuff. And if they start up front and they love it and they bought into it, could make you feel better about not having to run for your life every snap like he did last season.
Well, you said about him being a main character, and he is the main character, because yesterday when we were sitting in here, they were showing clips of South Carolina, and the clips that they showed of South Carolina were not clips of South Carolina. It was clips of Lenoris Sellers. It was only Lenoris running. Now, here's the real bad part about
That's
it.
the unfortunate part.
If you didn't know any better, if you're like, oh, man, look at Lenoris. Look at that guy. He's running. They were only showing clips from the Virginia Tech game.
In the one Kentucky run. Or he spins out of, again, a broken backfield. He spins out of it.
Then they showed you know what? Maybe we found a clue, like the dude who was ever tasked with the job. He's like, I'm just going to watch one game, because it was Lenoris clips, and then it was the deep ball to Nick Harbor.
To Nick Harbor, yeah.
We're on the UAS ESPN.
We know your game.
You didn't watch all the games.
We know your game. I was going to say, like, in that highlight montage, it was basically a recapping of the Virginia Tech game. This is what South Carolina could have been last year. Oh, that was fun, though, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
It's fun times.
Yeah. Yeah, everything after that, not as fun, but still pretty fun. But for Lenoris to be the main character, too, that means the supplementary characters or your supporting roles. Kendall Briles is definitely what you would consider a supporting role in this right now, too.
Director, maybe.
Oh, actually, director. Yeah, maybe a new director. This is a new TV series, but with a new director.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've seen plenty of times in different films with different actors how one actor is just at their best when they're paired with a certain director, right? I don't think I want to see a movie with Johnny Depp in it if Tim Burton's not directing it. There's good synergy there. They put them in positions to succeed. Could Kendall Briles be Lenoris Sellers'? Can he be the Tim Burton to Lenoris Sellers' Johnny Depp?
I think that's interesting, because I was thinking of De Niro and Scorsese.
Ooh, those are actual better films. Yes.
Well, here's the thing, and I don't know if we're ready to have this conversation at 6:40 in the morning. De Niro without Scorsese.
Oh, we're going there.
I don't know, man. Bad grandpa. I mean, this guy's been on a stinker run for a long time.
He has been on a stinker run.
But that's not what we're saying.
Shark Tale.
I'm saying at his best, he has somebody that directs him well, and that's what Lenoris. We've seen the concrete evidence of this. When he had somebody that tailored to his skills, i.e. Dow Loggins, especially towards the back end of that run, he's excellent. He had a director who was trying to make Lenoris into something that he's not, and it didn't work. And so hopefully what you're hoping is that the new guy that's coming in is trying to cater the offense to the things that Lenoris does well. And that probably feels a lot better for Lenoris just even in the spring.
The whole idea of just putting somebody maybe in a position that's not their strong suit. It's like, a director. It's like if Paul Thomas Anderson for There Will Be Blood was like, you know what? Who'd be great for this role? Owen Wilson. Wow. That's a lot of oil. Wow. I'm an oil man, Preston. Wow. Wouldn't have gone as well. You have to be able to complement whatever the skill set is of your quarterback and incorporate that into your offense, build your offense around it. And that's what I think in terms of if you're looking at previews for this, what might make the preview for this season interesting is the fact that there is a new director that has a better history in the college game of getting his actors to perform in places where they succeed. You're not having Owen Wilson replace Daniel Day-Lewis.
We've seen this before. We've seen them with other offenses. We've seen this happen. And I think that's the thing that's probably as encouraging. Again, not to beat a dead horse, but this conversation is I just wish that we had an opportunity to see this, whether it was an open scrimmage, whether it was having more practices open or whatever the case was, because we're still essentially just going by what they say. And if you've learned anything about following sports, everybody's great coming out of the spring. There's nobody that's coming out of the spring saying, I just don't think we're going to have it this year.
If you listen to all, 16 teams in the SEC and their press conferences throughout the spring, you might mark them all down for being 12-0 next year.
Everybody's undefeated and going.
Yeah. But they can't all finish that way.
Right.
Because that's how sports work. But coming up next, we are still booting Labatt, and we will see if we can get any sound from him, especially when it comes to footwork. Now, was the footwork maybe to blame for some of the passing or maybe some of the accuracy dips that we saw last season? Very well could be, but we'll hear what Lenore's had to say if we can reboot LaRobot coming up next here on the Early Game.
All my sports. The Game Network. 107.5 The Game in Columbia. 96.9 The Game in Charleston. 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. And 100.5 The Game in Florence.
Since that win at Clemson by the Gamecocks, things haven't gone well. And when things don't go well, it's time to look back on the days when things were well. Yeah. Let's spin back to the good old days on the Game Network.
The Gamecocks are making history in Cleveland. They'll be the 10th team, the 5th program to go undefeated and win the national championship. They will avenge their loss to Iowa from last year. The clock ticks down. 2 seconds to play. Celebration in Cleveland. Perfection wears garnet and black. Game over.
Gamecocks are in the Final Four.
Now that's some good feels right there. From 107.5 The Game and the Game Network.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Cole Caulfield is making NHL history. Caulfield is the first Montreal Canadiens player to score 50 goals in a season in over 30 years. Yes, you heard that. 3 decades. Caulfield scored his 50th goal against Tampa Bay Lightning Thursday night and is still in the NHL goal-scoring race for the Rocket Trophy. At 25 years old, he is going to be a force to be reckoned with for a long time. I'm Addie Bates.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Really smart. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I took the gas hose out of my car's tank. Ooh, not smart. And I drove off while still attached to pump number 3.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
What is it, boy? Someone need help? Someone in trouble? Oh. Okay, so you just want me to get Progressive Auto Insurance because their collision coverage covers up to $1,000 in vet bills if you're injured in an accident? That's it? Okay, calm down. Let's not resort to name calling.
Progressive's collision coverage helps pay for care for your pet when they're in the car during an accident.
No, you're right. Sorry, I shouldn't have said calm down.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage included with purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
The playoff push is heating up, and Prize Picks is simple to play. Pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you can cash in. And now with early payouts and the new social feed, you can follow friends, share picks, and copy winning lineups. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROAM and get a $50 bonus credit in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Code ROAM to get a $50 bonus credit in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZzzQuil Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZzzQuil Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday. Let's do this Monday. ZzzQuil Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
The Early Game. With former Gamecocks Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen. On the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and the Game TV radio on YouTube.
I think Preston and I have come to a heartbreaking conclusion here during the break. Robert De Niro's washed. Preston's just going down the recent movie list, and this is like watching Emmitt Smith carry the ball for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, whatever your late guy in the wrong jersey where it's like, oh no, that's not supposed to happen.
Kevin Garnett in a Nets jersey.
Jerry Rice in a Seahawks jersey. The big cactus. Remember that one?
The Shactus. Shaq in a Phoenix Suns jersey.
Yeah, Robert De Niro, obviously one of the greatest thespians of our time, but back then, I don't know if his skills have diminished, but I'd say his discernment in picking the movies that he acts in has diminished, or maybe he just wants to have fun at this point in his career. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna do Falker in Law, coming November 25th, 2026.
What, 16 years after the previous movie?
A new one is on the way. In case you were waiting.
How did I miss that?
It's that because it's been gone for 16 years, Jen.
Preston didn't know the movie of the series previously was filmed, and that was made in 2010.
Yeah.
And they really should have stopped really at the first, but the second for sure, because by the time we got to the third, that was pretty rough.
Well, we're back.
We waited 16 years to continue beating the dead horse, but that doesn't mean we're not going to beat the dead horse.
Wow.
Shout out to Bobby D, man.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Bobby D.
Well, hopefully the later seasons of Lenora Sellers' Gamecock football career, not like that series, where the best days are behind them, and a lot of that's going to have to do with, again, learning this offense, working on footwork, and now we'll see if we have Lenoris right now, because Corbin on the Firehouse of Sex line said, I genuinely was concerned Lenoris developed a stutter.
That was a Max Headroom kind of stutter.
He just kept repeating the first couple syllables over and over again. But here's Lenoris talking about footwork, how important footwork is, and exactly how he is addressing the footwork problem going into the spring.
Okay, let's try a different route, shall we? Oh, did he almost speak?
He almost.
Almost. Okay, let's try again.
It's been good. Coach Bowers, like I said, he's a really big, nitpicky guy. He's, more be comfortable. So it's more of a time thing for me. So, I know if my footwork is off, or I feel like late on throws probably because of my footwork and all that. And I feel like I can, I understand, when I'm late or when I'm not comfortable. So it's just pretty much on me. And I've been doing that in off-season, just working on it.
All right. So I feel like he got the grasp of it. I think he's learned the concept. It's not with him. I don't think it's getting him to understand the importance of the placement of your feet whenever you're throwing the football. I think he gets that now, and that's a benefit of being somebody who is going to be in their third year starting in the SEC. But now it's just if he drills that over and over and over and over again and makes it to where a lot of that stuff is habitual as opposed to experimental, then maybe like the accuracy numbers that we saw last year will get an uptick in 2026, which you'll need to.
Well, the reason why you rep it is because I don't want to be going into the game thinking about feet work, footwork, placement, all that stuff. I want to be naturally just doing these things. So that's what practice is for. Practice is supposed to drill it until you don't think about it anymore. And it felt like last year when we were watching those games, it felt like he was, okay, Lenoris, now I'm supposed to step up into the pocket and shift left, right? It felt like he was sort of painting by numbers, and that's not what you want. And also, you did notice he did say that Kendall's not necessarily, his word was nitpicky about how he just wants you to get it done. And I wonder if that's a callback to maybe the previous coach who might have been a little bit more stringent on those things, and I wonder how that's going to work out for him.
It is like wild in terms of how adjusting your feet changes your accuracy. Josh Allen's maybe the best example. If you remember Josh Allen's rookie year in the NFL, atrocious. It was bad. Mm-hmm. It was, the Bills drafted an experiment, and the experiment is going incredibly wrong. I remember listening to, it was like an ESPN Daily, podcast where they're talking about Josh Allen's improvement. This was maybe like in his third or fourth year in the league when he's really breaking through. And he credited a lot of that in the offseason after his rookie year, working with Jordan Palmer, younger brother of Carson Palmer, who now is kind of doing his own quarterback academy deal. And all they did, the only adjustment that was made were his feet. That was it. Foot placement on his passes when he's in the pocket. And that changed significantly from rookie year to year number 2. And you saw those completion percentage numbers go up, and he was a lot more accurate. And then that turned him into what his ceiling was, which was an MVP caliber player.
Well, I mean, that's athletics. That's sports in general. How do you become a better shooter? Well, it's going to be about how you set your feet. How do you become a better hitter? It's going to be about how you set your feet. How do you become a better pitcher? Almost every sport essentially has to deal with starting from the ground up, and it makes absolute sense that it would be for quarterbacks also.
We were sitting in here the other day, and there was a segment on the SEC network where they were talking about the new coaches in the SEC and which one of them has the toughest job. Well, that inspired me to want to rank those coaches and ask ourselves the question, which new SEC coach has the toughest job going into 2026? We'll tackle that question next here in the early game.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at herndonchevy.com.
Hey, it's Jen for CHW Cabinetry, a locally owned business, a women-owned business right there in Lexington. And everything that we had to do in our kitchen when we had to totally gut it because of a flood, they made the process so much better. Got the photorealistic rendering of the finished kitchen. I brag on that because it's like that made such a difference, both in seeing what was coming and also in filling out the rest of the kitchen. But we were so pleased with how everything went that when it came time to replacing cabinets and a couple of bathrooms, there was only one choice, and that was CHW Cabinetry. They can help you if you're just doing some smaller upgrades or updates in your house, if you're wanting to change some things in your kitchen, like in your pantry, maybe in your closet. They can help. Visit chwcabinetry.com. Call them at 803-520-6837. Tell them Jen sent you. CHW Cabinetry in Lexington. Passion from inspiration to installation.
Sponsored by Credit Karma.
Want to make the most of your tax refund? File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it. With a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Start your spring cleaning with Zerorez. Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for $109 plus a free hallway.
No soap, no residue, no harsh chemicals, just a deeper clean that lasts. Plus, now you can also take $100 off air duct cleaning and breathe cleaner air. Visit ZeroResColumbia.com.
Run the Cup, the Governor's Cup Road Race, sponsored by Lexington Health. Be part of history in downtown Columbia at one of the longest running and most prestigious road races in the Southeast. The Half Marathon, 5K, and Main Street Mile are open for registration. Kids can run for free in the Kids Main Street Mile. And don't miss the post-race celebration with music, food, vendors, and a special awards ceremony. Join Lexington Health and register now for the Governor's Cup Road Race, April 10th and 11th. Learn more at runthecup.com.
Average Owls. Our chairs sit, our tables stand.
You're not average. Your marketing results shouldn't be either. Cumulus Digital outperforms industry benchmarks by over 25%. See what Smarter Digital can do for you at cumulusdigital.com.
Full Send Golf.
You guys know how much I really love golf, and I think every week would be dope to post on the Golf Channel. I want to get a lot of guests on here.
Salim's going to take lead. I'm down to be in it. It's not really work to play golf.
Join the party on the golf course.
I was like, let's go to the range.
Oh.
So what are we putting on it?
We said 10K, right? 10K? All right. We probably bet more than all the other golf channels, right? 10K, 9 holes. Those guys bet for like cookies.
I feel like I'm going to shank it.
This guy's been training like a Navy SEAL when it comes to golf.
I'm very excited. You excited?
Yeah.
Full Send Golf. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Sponsored by Woodman Life, protecting hardworking families with life insurance.
Every hardworking American deserves to leave a legacy, regardless of their paycheck. We offer life insurance policies for a variety of budgets. Protect your family and your legacy. Get a quote at woodmanlife.org. Woodman Life is the brand name for Women of the World Life Insurance Society in Omaha, Nebraska. Ad number A0138.
It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow or even free signage for your lot? Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
Emergency personnel still working to put out the grass fire. Percival Road at Screaming Eagle Road. So allow extra time and be cautious as you progress through there. And as far as your forecast goes, 79, that is the high we're looking for today. It's going to be lots, and we'll have lots and lots of sunshine. Again, 79. Sunshine for the rest of the weekend. 85 tomorrow, 86 on Sunday. And yeah, by Wednesday, we could be at 91. So warming trend up and coming for sure. Right now, 45.
Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game. WNKT Eastover, Columbia. A Cumulus media station.
What a catch!
The early game with former Gamecock Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen on the Game Network and streaming on the 107.5 The Game app.
Number 2 of the early game starts right now. I'm Elijah Campbell. He's Preston Thorne. She's Jen Jensen. We have an incredibly fun hour playing for you because we're going to talk right now about which first-year coach at a new spot. I won't say first-year SEC coaches because some of them have coached different places in the SEC. Controversially, but which one of them have the toughest jobs in 2026? But later in this hour for the morning meeting, got a fun Masters game for Preston Thorne where I'm going to go throw out a name, and he's going to tell me if that is a participant in the Masters, an IndyCar driver, or a name that I completely made up. Very excited for that one.
I might be able to help you a little bit on that with the IndyCar driver, at least.
Thank you. I'm going to need it.
Jen could be of assistance there. And then we talked about Brandon Cisse kind of getting body shamed a little bit in his draft scouting report. And I wanted to prove it's not just him because draft scouting reports can be the most brutal bullying that you get in your life when it comes to just nitpicking what your body looks like. So I went through and read all 100 of the top 100 scouting reports, and Dane Brugler's the beast, of the top 100 players, right? I ain't got time to go through all of them, right? But I went through the weaknesses in all of them to see if I could find the best body shaming ones. And buddy, Brandon Cisse's was child's play.
He got off light.
He got off light compared to some of these dudes. We'll do that at 7:30. You're not going to want to miss that. But I want to start off, though, by talking about this segment that I'm stealing from the SEC network. All right, I am admitting to theft here.
Yeah, because we want to have this conversation.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, you know what? That is a really interesting convo. And it was, I think it was Chris Doering and Roman Harper were talking about which new SEC football coach for 2026 in his new spot has the toughest job for this season. And of course, in the TVs here in the studio, they're muted, right? Rightfully so. We're talking, right? We don't want the microphones to pick up the TV. So I don't know what parameters they put on that discussion and in those rankings. So I figured we kind of place our own. And I'm thinking, when I made my list, when I ranked them, because there's 6 new head coaches, I did it on the pressure on the job. Pressure is an element here. Resources, and whether or not I think that coach is a good fit with that program, right? I think it would be a tough job if I just don't think you're the right guy for that job. So those are kind of the 3 main things that I thought of when putting together my list. Now, should I start from 1 to 6 or 6 to 1?
I think let's go ahead and get straight to it.
Okay, let's get straight to it.
Let's get straight to it.
Number 1, the newest SEC head coach with the toughest ask in 2026, John Sumrall at Florida.
Interesting.
They are not very patient. They had to be patient with Billy Napier. Their patience didn't pay off. If you've been asked to be patient about something, Preston Thorne, and you've been a good soldier, you've been patient, and you did what was asked of you, and you still didn't get what you want, at some point, the patience runs out and you start getting mad.
Okay, that's really interesting you said that because I did not have him at number 1. And the reason why I hit it is almost opposite of what you're thinking because I think he's going to get a year 0. I think he gets a year 0 just because Billy was so boring.
He was very boring.
And John Sumrall is the guy, he has a little bit of juice to him.
He does.
And I think that's going to be appealing for a while. Now, you can't go out there and get, boat raced up and down the field.
Right.
But I do kind of think like it's just going to be a little refreshing for the fans to have somebody with a pulse.
See, that would be nice. I think the results will be the same though. I think that's my thing. I think you might get similar results at least for the first year. I think with Sumrall, he's a builder. Okay. I think it's going to take some actual building, kind of like Billy Napier was. And I don't mind somebody hiring the builder, right? But at Florida too, there's also a lack of what's the term? Realness there. Like there's not a lot of.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take that with you because I'm gonna move into the one that I think is and I think for the same reasons I picked a different school, and I picked Alex Golesh at Auburn because I think they are absolutely delusional.
Self-awareness is what I was thinking of. Yeah,
I think Auburn falls in the same category as Florida as far as the fan base being delusional of who they are not who they think they are. They think they're somebody else.
Because they're in the state with Alabama, and their barometer every single year is how competitive are we with that behemoth, down the road.
And I think a lot of the same delusions and sort of idiosyncrasies of that fan base made me. But here's the thing. And I'm still trying to get a read on Alex as far as what the fit is going to be there because he seems to strike me as a straight down the line guy. Mm-hmm. I don't know how that works at Auburn because I think they need somebody with some whimsy. They need somebody who can match their freak as far as just being crazy.
A little bit.
I think they do.
And I don't think Alex Golesh has a lot of crazy in him.
I'm still learning who he is though.
Yeah, good offensive mind, and he brought some of his luggage, with him. I think that's a big part of the whole allure there, because he had a really good South Florida team that, again, went to Florida last year and end up getting a big win in the Swamp. I have Alex Golesh. I actually ended up having him at 4 on the list.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Where do you have Pete Golden?
5.
Why?
I think he might get a year 0.
I think Pete gets a year 0?
Like a new one. I think because of what he did in the playoff has kind of earned him some immortality at that place. And it's going to be like, when a school hires a former player to be a coach, there's the unspoken thing where you're going to have to fire him one day, but it's going to be hard to because of what he did for the program in the past. that exists in a more present tense with Ole Miss because of what he did in the college football playoff. I don't know how much they're expecting to be CFP contenders this year. I don't think they make it back. I think they'll be good, but I think for this year, he's got a little bit more leeway, and he already has at least a decent roster returning for this season, which I think should help him out a little bit, puts him on a different block, starting block than a lot of these other coaches.
He saved them in a dire time.
Yes, absolutely.
And to be honest, they should always remember that because their previous coach left in the middle of the season, and I will not let anybody forget that.
Yeah, a team, you coach all season long, get your team to the college football playoff, and he dipped when they got to the college football playoff, and Pete Golding was there. So I think that part alone makes it number 5 for me. But it's not the easiest. I think that's not the easiest, but the best position. I think that's Will Stein because, the Kentucky thing, like the basketball team being a dumpster fire this year, is the biggest story on campus. I do think Will Stein will have what he needs. I liked him picking up Kenny Minchie in the transfer portal. Will Stein is a quarterback guy. I think he is going to be in a good spot there. I think that's a really good fit, right? A fit between coach and program. They're going to give him a lot of leeway because football is not the most important thing at Kentucky.
And again, I think it's still based on who you're following because he is following the most boring, milquetoast, vanilla, snooze fest offense. Those folks have not seen offense in, 10 years?
They're going to see a 300-yard passing game, and it's going to be like getting manna from the heavens. It's going to be like a biblical level of relief for that crowd. They might not even care if they lose a 41-38 game, but they add a quarterback, though, for 300 yards. Oh, they're here for it.
You ever seen that? It's an old movie, The Gods Must Be Crazy, where the Coke bottle drops from the sky in the African village, and they're like, what is this?
What is this?
I don't know. And it's a wild movie. It's a really interesting movie, sociological experiment. But that's what the fans are going to be looking at. They're going to be like, what are these? Touchdowns? Deep balls? Hurry up offense? Points?
A forward pass that was completed?
So I think that's Will is, and also personality-wise, Will is a lot better than the grumpy old man that Mark Stoops eventually end up becoming.
Yes.
And I was just looking at my research. I didn't realize how close to mediocre he actually was. 82-80 as a head coach. Straight down. Jeff Fisher ain't got nothing on him.
Jeff Fisher, you have met your match. Because
82-80. It's like, hey man, we're gonna win today and we're gonna lose tomorrow. Bank on it.
Do you celebrate Jeff Fisher Day on August 8th or July 9th?
I think officially it has to be because I feel like he's more 8-8 than 7-9.
Yeah.
Because his era is 8-8.
Because he's had a lot of both. You just go to his football reference page and just look at the records. There's a whole lot of both there. I think it's a fair question to be able to ask. But I celebrate Jeff Fisher Day on August 8th every year.
8-8.
Yeah, which is pretty fair.
So here's my real question, and as I was going through this, because I'm like, I don't really care, and that's Ryan Silverfield.
I have him at 3
because
terrible resources, terrible hire. He's in a tough position because I don't think he's qualified to be coaching as a head coach in the SEC. I don't think that guy's got it at all. I've not been lower on any SEC hiring in the past 5 years than I am with Ryan Silverfield in Arkansas. That was this guy beat us when he was the coach at Memphis. He must be really good. But then that's only if you only watch that game for Memphis this year, you might think that and be justified in thinking that. But if you watch the entire season, you saw the talent advantage that Memphis had over their peers in the AAC, and you realized they still didn't win that league the last few years he's been there. Yeah, then it doesn't make as much sense. That I think he underachieved at Memphis and then was able to get the Arkansas job. So I think the fact that there's an element of he's in over his head, he's at a place where resource-wise you're outgunned by everybody else in your conference, not named Mississippi State. I think that puts him in a position where it's 3, but I don't think the pressure is going to be there enough to justify making him one of the top 2 on this list.
I was immediately out on him when I saw this blurb about what he's done in the facility. Have you seen his new interior design choices?
Oh, God. I have not.
He's removed every clock in the facility and replaced it with a clock that says the word now on it because we have urgency in this building.
I'm glad the clock's what tells him that. Yeah. I'm glad he doesn't have the natural feeling of, winning is urgent here.
Remove all the clocks.
So what time is practice now?
Now.
What time was film now?
What time is dinner now? We can't do all these at the same time.
Correct.
Sense of urgency, man. We got to get to it now.
Unnecessary gimmicks. On a scale of 1 to Jimmy Butler taking the rearview mirrors out of his cars, this is really close. This is dangerously close.
Imagine the head of maintenance getting that request. He's like, what? You want me to do what?
Yeah, and when do you want me to do it? Now.
Now. Buddy, look at the clock.
It's like, get online.
So kids got to, if they got to get to classes and things like that. When do you go? How do you know? Like, this is dumb. This is really.
So that's why I'm out on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does
that track?
Yeah, it feels like that tracks. I don't know him personally, or I know him of the results that he had at Memphis, and that was a little underwhelming. Now,
so that leaves us with Lane.
Yes.
What do you think?
They both had on SEC Network. Chris Doering and Roman Harper had Lane at number 1. I've got him at number 2. Patience is not like they didn't spend all that money to fire Brian Kelly.
$91 million.
And then spend all that money to get Lane Kiffin and make him one of the highest paid coaches in college football to go 8-4. He's going to have to win 10 games or make the college football playoff for both, right? 10 games winning like this year is a minimum. They have zero patience for any shenanigans there. Now, however, I think he's got more resources than Florida in terms of what LSU's willing to spend. Clearly, they're willing to spend a lot of money, and they are so desperate for football success that they're going to do it. But I think Lane Kiffin is maybe a better football coach than John Summerall. So I think Lane Kiffin is a really good coach. And I think what he has done as a head coach at Ole Miss is one of the more impressive things we've seen in the SEC in a while. I think that alone is why I make him number 2, not number 1. But I get the pressure cooker element to where I can't completely disagree with the guys on SEC Network at putting him number 1.
Well, he thinks it's number 1 because last week he came out with the press conference. He's like, "Hey guys, it's going to take some patience to build." It's like that's
not going to fly.
No, you don't get that.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. They won it. They won it now, and they didn't spend all that money for 8-4. I will say that much. They did not spend all that money so they can play in the Texas Bowl next year, right? They spent that money to get into the college football playoff. I don't think the begging for patience is going to work very well in Baton Rouge. But coming up next, it's the early game morning meeting. It is Masters weekend, so we have a Masters-themed game that I'm going to make Preston Thorne play, and we'll do that coming up next.
Wow, what a play! The Game Network, Columbia, Charleston, Florence, and Myrtle Beach.
This hour of in-show listening on 1075 The Game is sponsored by QC Kinetics in West Columbia, the non-surgical regenerative orthopedic specialists of the Midlands. Request your consultation today by dialing pound 250 and use keyword QC Kinetics.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at herndonchevy.com.
And we talked about some of the troubles these programs had in terms of hiring coaches, but if you have some issues, not on the football field, but with your taxes, right? The tax field, if you will, whether it's personal income tax or business tax issues, the only hire to make here is John Ecton and his team at the Ecton Law Firm. 803-771-9800. That is the phone number to call to set up that free consultation with John and his team at the Ecton Law Firm, where you can talk through a lot of these issues, whether it's your personal income tax issues or business tax issues, whatever it is, there's nothing you can tell them that they haven't worked with or seen before, because when you have a team like this that has been working in the state of South Carolina, has helped thousands of families and businesses just like yours escape those tax issues, they're perfectly qualified to offer you that peace of mind that you know you deserve, right? Talking with them is the first step to a worry-free life. 803-771-9800, or you can always visit them online at ectonlawfirm.com. That's ECTON lawfirm.com.
Forest-inspired culinary adventure at The Hollow, right in Columbia's Vista District. The Hollow's Forest-to-Table restaurant serves up rustic American delights, from bison and boar to duck and rainbow trout. Come for the food, stay for the atmosphere. The Hollow's unique 30-foot tree canopy bar and open kitchen views set the stage for an unforgettable experience. Don't skip their half-off happy hour from Tuesday to Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. Enjoy 50% off on signature botanical cocktails, beer, wine, and appetizers. Whether you're unwinding after work or planning a special gathering, The Hollow has you covered. Located at 823 Gervais Street in Columbia, reserve your spot by calling 803-722-4101 or visit them at thehollowsc.com. They're excited to welcome you. The Hollow is our sweet deal of the week. Beginning this Friday at 9 a.m., you can get a $50 gift certificate to The Hollow for just $25. Get yours at 1075thegame.com.
The one and only Monster Jam. See the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks, like Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Sparkle Smash, and more. Only at Monster Jam. Save 25% on face value of a family 4-pack of tickets. Get your savings coupon from participating Texas Roadhouse locations. See coupon for details. Restrictions may apply. Coming to Colonial Life Arena April 18th and 19th.
Bill Gunner at 107.5 The Game for AAA Heating and Air. Look, I know you're thinking about a lot of spring cleaning right now, but are you thinking about your generators? You need to be. Those things are vitally important when our power goes out. You want to make sure your generator is running great. At AAA Heating and Air, they're ready to help you. So call today or visit their website. Call AAAtoday.com and tell them Bill Gunner with 107.5 The Game sent you.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
Columbia, when you want the real Harley-Davidson experience, there's only one place to go, at the Haven Harley-Davidson, Columbia's exclusive Harley-Davidson dealership. From the newest motorcycles to genuine parts, gear, and factory-trained service, everything you need to ride starts right here. No substitutes, no second choices, just the authentic Harley-Davidson experience delivered by the team that knows riders best. Whether you're gearing up for your first bike or your next big adventure, the Haven Harley-Davidson is the place that rides with you, supports you, and keeps you rolling. Visit thehavenharleydavidson.com and discover why Columbia calls us home.
You could file your taxes on a basic free service, which is fine. But are you okay with fine? Because when it's your money on the line, do you really want to guess if you missed a credit or hope the math is right? Get the confidence of TurboTax for free right on the Intuit Credit Karma app. Free Fed and free state for simple 1040s only. Around 37% of filers qualify. See details at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for EITC, CTC, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow, or even free signage for your lot? Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
We have a report of an accident at Charleston Highway between Pine Ridge Drive and I-77. And the forecast coming up looks really nice. Get through this kind of chilly morning. But today, sunshine 79. Sunshine throughout the weekend, 85 and 86. On Saturday and Sunday, we stay in the 80s through Tuesday. Before Wednesday, we potentially hit 91. But it is still kind of jacket weather right this minute. 45 on 107.5 The Game.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen on the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube.
Round one of the Masters was yesterday. And for the early game morning meeting, I decided to tap into one of my favorite games. It's just where I get a list of names, and I asked Preston if this is an obscure athlete or somebody I made up. Now, the funny thing about the history of this game, we played on this program, is I did this with SEC backup quarterbacks last summer, and one of the players on that list was Trinidad Chambliss. Turned out, we know who that is now.
It's like, yeah, it's not a person. There's no way that's a person. It's not a real.
And little did we know at the time, he would get Ole Miss within, 45 seconds of playing in a national championship game?
Yeah.
He got him really close.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe if one of the obscure golfers on here that are real might actually end up winning the Masters. It'd be cool. But we'll find out who these players are and if they're real or not for today's morning meeting.
Good morning. Good morning. Repeat after me. Today will be an awesome day.
That will.
Let's go.
Good morning, great today. Today will be an awesome day. Good morning, great today. Today will be an awesome day.
And it will, because this is how we do Masters coverage here on this program. I'm going to throw a name towards Preston Thorne, and he's going to guess whether or not this is one of the golfers participating in the Masters, an IndyCar driver, or a name that I completely made up. All right. So first one on this list.
Who he play for?
In a way, who he play for. First name, Harris English.
Come on, man. Now I have to stare at Jen to see if she gives me any tells on the IndyCar driver. Harris English is a Irish IndyCar driver.
Harris English is participating in the Masters this weekend as a golfer.
All right, 0 for 1.
Sorry, I would have told you I probably know. I don't know all the drivers, but I know a few.
All right. Max Gregersman.
Come on. That's like Trinidad Chambliss.
Right.
Max Gregerson?
Gregersman.
Gregersman. Okay. All right. Well, let me give you 1X or 2X. Because Max Crosby spells his name with 2 X's.
1X for Mr. Gregersman.
Fake.
All the Gregors horses and all the Gregors men.
Made up.
Max Gregersman is participating in the Masters this weekend.
No. Now I'm getting
Wow. I wasn't sure.
This is the opposite of the test. When you take the test and it's all C's and you're like, it can't be all C's. Can it?
You're right.
Now I'm in my head now. All right, here we go.
All right, Riley Landers.
Riley Landers, you wouldn't do 3 in a row. Riley Landers is a made-up name.
Oh, he's right. Ding,
Excellent.
ding, ding.
Well done.
May or may not have got the first name inspiration by Preston Thorne's dog. So,
Oh, nice.
Shout out to Riley.
shout out to Riley.
Appreciate you, Riley.
Always a big shout out
Okay,
to Riley.
so my dogs are Milo, Piper, or no, we lost Piper. Milo, Sophie, and Nala. So if you hear any of those, just
Gotcha.
FYI.
Yeah, that's right. See, I will incorporate dogs into any segment that I can. You're figuring out the test maker here. Kyle Kirkwood.
Kyle Kirkwood is an Indy driver.
Correct.
Good for you.
He knew it. And so did Jen. If you're watching on the YouTube stream, Jen gives him the steering wheel.
Listen, when you're taking the test, you got to be aware of all the clues around. Look all around the room, everywhere.
Sometimes the teacher doesn't cover up everything on the walls, right? See, the beauty of this, too, is I don't know if any of these IndyCar drivers are good. I just looked up a list of names.
Was that Kirkwood?
Kyle Kirkwood.
Kyle Kirkwood.
And you know what? If you asked me that question, I'm like, oh, Kyle Kirkwood's definitely an amateur on the Masters that's playing in the Masters.
That does sound like a Masters name. It really does.
Alex Palou.
IndyCar driver?
Beep, beep, yes.
I guess a small thing, because Elijah can see the live stream, so I can't help but cheat. I'm going to find another way.
She puts her hands together and just does a little.
Alex Palou.
Alex Palou.
See,
okay.
It doesn't make the test any easier when I completely butcher the last name.
Yeah, that's why I would appeal. I'd be like, well, you didn't say the name.
He actually won the Indy 500 last year.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah, he's kind of good.
He's
yeah.
actually really good at this.
Yeah.
All right. Casey Jarvis.
Come on, man. Casey Jarvis is clearly a Masters competitor.
That would be correct.
Good job.
After missing the first two.
Yes.
All right. Last one. Bart Harley Jarvis.
Come on, man. Bart Harley Jarvis.
It has to be. It has to be a name.
So the question is, do we think Elijah is this creative?
Mm-hmm.
Or did he search this deep into the archives to find Bart Harley Jarvis?
I did go pretty deep in this entire exercise. Not as much of the IndyCar drivers. I probably should have gone deeper.
Bart Harley Jarvis is not a real person.
That would be correct. If you've ever watched the show, I think you should leave. Bart Harley Jarvis is the baby in the Baby of the Year skit that nobody likes.
Whoa.
So I didn't make up the name Bart Harley Jarvis, but it is a fictional character in a really funny
Got off to a slow start.
Yep.
Picked it up towards the end.
So you end at 5 of 7?
Pretty good.
Listen, man, 5 of 7. That's solid.
That's pretty good.
That's a B.
I was going to say, I'm waiting for the teacher to come up with what the grade was.
I was running.
Yeah.
I was trying to run it in my mind.
Head, I was like,
5 of 7. Yeah, that's a B.
Yeah, the vibes are B. I'll say that. Even if like the grade technically does not come out as a B, the vibes are definitely a B.
Yeah, and that's the benefit of multiple choice.
That is, yes. All of these had a multiple choice element to them. So that was our Masters-themed name game for today. But coming up next, the segment I think I was the most excited for. Because if you listen to the show yesterday, Dane Brugler from The Athletic, who does maybe the most comprehensive draft guide on planet Earth, we read through his scouting report on Brandon Cisse. We noticed just the way he described the weaknesses of Brandon Cisse's physical build almost bordered on body shaming, right?
And what does he look like, by the way?
Yeah, that's the good question.
Can someone do this to Dane? But it inspired me to look at the other scouting reports. And, buddy, we have so much more to get into. We'll tell you some of the best body shaming that has been done for the NFL draft and its prospects coming up next year in the early game.
All my sports. The Game Network. 107.5 The Game in Columbia. 96.9 The Game in Charleston. 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. And 100.5 The Game in Florence.
The Game phone lines at 803-404-6100. Sponsored by AAA Heating and Air. Now offering 12-month payment plans on all HVAC or electrical repairs with no credit check. Online at callAAAtoday.com.
Sponsored by Novant Health Urgent Care.
The region's best urgent care is getting even better. Doctor's care is now Novant Health Urgent Care. Visit NovantHealthUrgentCare.org to find a location near you.
Powered by Integrated Media. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass.
The Gant family with Pioneer Tree Service has been taking care of trees in Columbia and surrounding areas for over 48 years. Pioneer Tree Service provides tree and shrub removal, pruning and thinning, tree planting, cabling and bracing, raising tree canopies, stump grinding and removal, storm damage services, property cleaning and grading, right-of-way maintenance, and more. They also provide 24-hour emergency tree removal. They can also handle the removal of diseased and dead trees before an emergency happens. Call them today for a free estimate. 803-794-8253. The Gant family and their team at Pioneer Tree Service can be trusted to provide professional and quality tree services with affordable pricing for residential or commercial jobs. Ashton Smith called Pioneer Tree Service and said they came when she was leaving for work, and when she got home, the tree was gone, as if it was never there. She was so impressed with Pioneer Tree Service, she will definitely use them again. Here's one of the Gant girls, Madison Gant.
Call us today for a free estimate at 803-794-8253 or check us out online at pioneertreesc.com.
The Colonial Life Charity Classic is coming to the Wood Creek Club right here in Columbia, May 14th through the 17th. This is your chance to watch the next generation of PGA Tour stars up close. Before Justin Thomas and Scotty Scheffler were household names, they were right here on the Korn Ferry Tour. This is where the journey begins. Every shot bringing them closer to the PGA Tour. Tomorrow's champions are teeing it up today. Get your tickets now for the Colonial Life Charity Classic.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell consult. The Cordell consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Visit CordellCordell.com.
1201 Main Street, Columbia.
Start your spring cleaning with Zerorez. Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for $109 plus a free hallway. No soap, no residue, no harsh chemicals, just a deeper clean that lasts. Plus, now you can also take $100 off air duct cleaning and breathe cleaner air. Visit ZerorezColumbia.com.
Plus tax and title with approved credit. Call 866-243-4623 for details. Holy cow! JT's Jeep Ram has new Grand Cherokees from $29,990. How about $5,000 more for your trade? 0% for 72 months. A 1,000,000-mile warranty on every new JT's vehicle. Even if your credit's a little cockeyed, JT will get you approved and save you money too. Drive a new Grand Cherokee for $29,990 with a 1,000,000-mile warranty. JT's Jeep Ram 378 Lexington or Greystone Boulevard. Declaration of Deal Sales Event.
Want to make the most of your tax refund? File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it. With a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Full Send Golf.
You guys know how much I really love golf, and I think every week would be dope to post on the Golf Channel. I want to get a lot of guests on here.
Salim's going to take lead. I'm down to be in it. It's not really work to play golf.
Join the party on the golf course.
I was like, let's go to the range. So what are we putting on it?
We said 10K, right? 10K? All right. We probably bet more than all the other golf channels, right? 10K, 9 holes. Those guys bet for like cookies.
I feel like I'm going to shank it.
This guy's been training like a Navy SEAL when it comes to golf.
I'm very excited. You excited?
Yeah.
Full Send Golf. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Powered by Integrated Media. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. Shepherd's Glass. It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow or even free signage for your lot? Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
We have a report of an accident, Faro Road at Pisgah Church Road. Again, that is Faro at Pisgah Church. And Charleston Highway between Pine Ridge Drive and I-77. Also, an accident. Can't even talk. I think it's pollen. That's what I'm going to blame. There is an accident. Charleston Highway between Pine Ridge Drive and I-77. 79 for the high today. Lots of sunshine ahead. 85 and 86 this weekend. And we'll stay in the 80s through Tuesday before we potentially hit 91 on Wednesday. Currently, a little cool for your start, 45.
The Early Game. With former Gamecocks Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen. On the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube.
Sometimes the lead up to the NFL draft is more fun than the actual NFL draft because you learn a lot about these players. And if you are a subscriber to The Athletic, like myself, you enjoy every year Dane Brugler's The Beast, in which he details every single player that is eligible to be drafted. And you get their strengths, their weaknesses. You get extreme background information. When they went from JV to varsity in high school, if there is any type of character concern at all.
Where they went to middle school?
Where they went to middle school. You find out a lot in The Beast. Dane Brugler does maybe the best job of anybody at finding all this stuff out and then putting it into like condensed, readable scouting reports. But the funniest thing is always how some players in their bodies are described. And for those who missed it yesterday, we looked at Brandon Ceesay's page. And under weaknesses, the first thing was slender body type with narrow torso, lean limbs, and small hands. And we thought that was kind of funny. And we're like, you do have to do our guy like that. Come on, Dane. Well, it inspired me to read all 100 of the top 100 in the weaknesses category to see if there was any that were worse.
ChatGPT can't do that.
ChatGPT cannot do this. No.
This is human work.
Body shaming is done by humans. Right? And I just wanted to throw out some of the best of what I saw from Dane Brugler's body shaming in the weakness category of a lot of these players. Starting with a player who might be taken in the top 10, Mansour Delane, defensive back from LSU. We learned about him pretty well by throwing in his direction on a pivotal fourth down. Wouldn't recommend doing that.
Find the best player on the team and throw it at him.
Throw it at him. And guess what? He got a PBU, and that ended your chances of winning the game. But here's how Mansour Delane was mentioned in his weaknesses. Rocked up in upper body, but has shorter arms and underdeveloped lower half, lean thighs, and thin ankles.
There's your next game. Is this a scouting report phrase, or is it made up? Because it was seriously.
Rocked up in upper body, but has shorter arms and underdeveloped lower half.
He's a dinosaur.
So he's saying Mansour forgets leg day. He doesn't do.
Yes, pretty much to translate that.
Like Johnny Bravo.
Hey, baby. I'm Mansour Delane. Leg days for wussies. Well, that's good because usually when you think about, players that would end up getting body shamed, sometimes it's the players on the line of scrimmage, right? Well, Spencer Fano, offensive lineman from Utah, going to be a first-round pick, was his weaknesses. The first one mentioned, narrow-shouldered and narrow-hipped with average body length. A little too narrow.
This is for an offensive lineman.
For an offensive lineman.
Okay. Wow. All right. Narrow shoulders.
This may be one of my favorites. Ruben Bain, edge rusher for Miami.
I already know.
Dude can ball, right? I think if you just watched him play in the college football playoff last year, this guy can play football.
He's just, look at his old T-Rex habit.
That's not even the best one. Pear-shaped body and below average arm length.
This is going to get somebody's mama really upset.
This is good. If I read this about myself, I'd be like, okay, buddy.
Yeah.
Back off. Pear-shaped?
Ruben Bain, short arms, pear-shaped.
Oh, no. There's a reason they don't do this I want to see drafts for women.
Oh, no. Oh, God, no.
I'm just thinking that would be dangerous.
Oh, that would be your first and last draft scouting report.
Edition. Grand opening, grand closing.
I read that yesterday on my laptop, and I just started cackling. I was like, pear-shaped? Come on.
Yo.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man. Goodness. Emmanuel McNeil Warren, defensive back from Toledo. Narrow through torso with thin wrists and ankles. Not as bad.
Okay, that's
But that's looking pretty deep. I mean, that. I'm waiting for colonoscopy results in here.
Now,
I got him.
I feel for Emmanuel here because I, too, have thin wrists and ankles. So, I feel it. Been there, buddy. Chris Johnson. No, not that Chris Johnson. This Chris Johnson, defensive back from San Diego State. His reads, narrow bone structure with marginal muscle mass, especially on his limbs.
Oh.
So the opposite of Mansour Delane, where he is rocked up in his upper body. The same is not said for poor Chris Johnson.
And so are we saying with him that there's really not much opportunity for him to bulk up?
I think so. Because for some of them, I didn't include them on the list, but there are a lot of guys where it said maxed out physically, where it's basically saying this is as jacked as you're going to get. That was on a few of them.
The really interesting thing is that if you were to take these reports and to put them against some of these all-time great players who we know wouldn't necessarily pass the look test, i.e. like Pat Mahomes, Tom Brady.
Wouldn't you love to see? Now, see, that is what I would love to have this guy take a picture. Just show him like pictures of without a face.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And how would you assess Patrick Mahomes? Wouldn't that be fun?
There might be something there.
Could be. Other defensive back, Colton Hood from Tennessee. Lean throughout with below average bulk and skinny lowers.
Oh.
Skinny lowers.
Never heard it described like that. But now we got some doozies here. Defensive lineman from Ohio State, Caden McDonald. Some sloppiness in his midsection. Weight seemed to fluctuate throughout season.
Hey, man.
Hey, take it easy.
He's normal.
Hey. I got stressed out during the year, man. My weight fluctuated. Listen, man.
You know how cheap they sell 50 McNuggets for now?
Bojangles had a 4-piece sale. What do you want me to do? And we were losing.
Well, yeah, what do you want?
What team did he play for?
Ohio State.
And we were winning.
Yeah. So you got to celebrate.
Come on, man. What you want me to do?
You expect me to see that Bojangles deal and not celebrate accordingly? Get out of here.
I got an NIL deal from Bojangles. Got to eat it.
A short and sweet one here for Chase Basantis, an offensive guard from Texas A&M. Short-armed and barrel-chested.
What position?
Offensive guard.
Let's go.
You're like, you say that as a weakness.
Tell me more.
You're like, I'm intrigued.
As you say now, but now I'm curious. I'm looking for the interpretation. So he says shorter arms. So if he's a bigger guy, shorter arms, are you saying he can't get his arms around somebody?
Yeah, but they're saying he's an offensive lineman. So, I mean,
yeah.
Reach is a big part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like me a good barrel-chested offensive lineman. That's a great quality.
The barrel-chested part, actually, I'll take it.
That's why Trent got recruited for that position. Hated playing it, but
They got recruited for it.
Because barrel-chested.
Trent would qualify as barrel-chest.
Yes.
Yes.
He would.
Absolutely.
So Trent's football spirit animal is Chase Basantis from Texas A&M.
I think so.
Another offensive tackle, Markel Bell from Miami. I really don't even know what this means, so I put it in quotation marks. Underdeveloped bubble and legs with most weight above his belt. So underdeveloped bubble and legs, most weight above his belt.
I think that means he has no buttocks.
I've just never heard of that described as a bubble.
That was what I was going with, but interesting. And underdeveloped at that.
So not thick with two C's.
No buttocks.
Sorry, Markel Bell. Not winning any twerking contest.
No.
And then the last one, Chandler Rivers, defensive back from Duke. Short and narrowly built with mediocre muscle bulk.
Mediocre? Hey.
Worked hard for this body, buddy.
Dane.
You weren't in the weight room with me, Dane.
Who's my guy that said his weight fluctuated? Because that's my guy.
Caden McDonald, defensive lineman.
My guy.
Ohio State. With some sloppiness in his midsection.
Hey, listen, man.
Sloppiness.
Weight fluctuates. Put it on my scouting report.
Would you rather be scouted as having some sloppiness in the midsection or being pear-shaped? That's tough. That's tough.
I'm gonna be honest. Give me the sloppiness in the midsection. I don't.
Well, that's something you can deal or something you can change. You can't change a pear shape.
Yeah, I've just never heard a man described as a pear shape.
No.
Until now. Ruben Bain is one of one.
Also, even when I hear women describe themselves as pear shaped, it's never like in a
negative connotation.
Yeah, it's never great.
Like, but Ruben Bain, pear shaped. The guy's going to go top 10 probably in the NFL draft. I love it because the guy's that good. The guy's awesome, man. Like he could be an all-pro player.
He's so good. He overcame his pear shape and short arms.
Wow,
that's how good he is.
The dinosaur that eats fruit.
That's
also,
right. And quarterbacks.
Also, Ruben Bain, come on home. Up top, too.
Oh?
That's what they didn't put in there. Pear-shaped, short arm, receding hairline.
Oh, no.
You better be good at football, son.
You better be. Or you better be glad that football requires wearing helmets. Just keep that bad boy on. Oh, it is Masters weekend, though, and radio stations across the country do their own unique Masters updates. Well, we have our own Masters update, and we'll give you that leaderboard coming up next here in the early game.
Wow, what a play! The Game Network. Columbia, Charleston, Florence, and Myrtle Beach.
We have a new way for you to call the AAA Heating and Air phone lines. Just dial pound 250, and when prompted, punch in the keywords, the game. And that's it. Again, pound 250 with the keywords, the game.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Day one of the 90th Masters in the books, and the leaderboard is already dramatic. Defending champion Rory McIlroy finished a stellar 5 under 67 to share the opening round lead with Sam Burns. Tough day for many, though, as only 16 players broke par in the stiff afternoon conditions. Scotty Scheffler just 3 strokes back. That's the guy who's going to win it. I'm Drake Toll.
Vehicle safety starts underneath. That's why the pros choose Napa for undercar solutions that stop safety issues before they become costly problems. Go further with complete repairs that restore stopping, steering, and stability. Then grow your business through trust and repeat visits. With premium rotors, pads, struts, and wheel hub assemblies, Napa has everything you need to keep undercar under control. That's Napa know-how.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803. Don't wait. Call now. 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Life matters. A shipwrecked man swam ashore onto a deserted island. Salvaging the wreckage, he fashioned them into a hut high on a hill from which he could scan the horizon for help. One evening, after returning from a search for food, he found his hut aflame. Devastated by his loss, he gave up all hope of rescue. He cried himself to sleep that night, but he awoke the next morning to find a ship anchored off the island. When the captain of that vessel stepped ashore, he explained, "We saw your signal fire last night and came as quickly as we could." Everything the maroon man possessed had to be destroyed before he could be rescued. Two things to note. First of all, bad news isn't necessarily bad. And secondly, whatever loss we must experience to get us rescued may be worth it. That's why we can trust God when life's path seems incomprehensible. This is Stephen Chitty. Remember, life matters, and so do you.
The Early Game with former Gamecock Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen on the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube.
Now, we're already one round into the Masters, and everybody, all radio stations across the country, they always do some form of Masters leaderboard, but we wanted to put a little twist into ours because a lot of times they do involve the very lovely Masters music, and they usually give you the best. And we'll do that for you too, but we have a little bit of a curveball, Preston Thorne. A little bit of one. But with that being said,
a little bit of a dog leg, a little bit of a shank.
A little bit of a shank, if you will. I don't know if he'll be skilled enough to land a ball into somebody's purse like Xander Schauffele did yesterday.
That's impressive.
But we'll try to be as equally impressive here. So with that being said, the top 10 in the Masters leaderboard. Jen Jensen, take it away.
So things are looking very nice out there at Augusta National. Sam Burns, Rory McIlroy. Rory McIlroy.
You can go your own McIlroy. I love that song.
Man, it's going to be a tough segment. Okay, so they are both tied for first right now. Jason Day, Kurt Kitayama, Patrick Reed, all tied for third. Tied for sixth, several, including Shane Lowry, Justin Rose, Xander Schauffele, and Scotty Scheffler. For the top 10, or those that are tied for 10th, Jacob Bridgman, Brian Campbell, Tommy Fleetwood, Hao Tong Lee, Aaron Rai, Nick Taylor, and Gary Woodland. So those would be the ones sitting in the top 10 here at Augusta National.
That is a lovely place to be. That is exactly what you want to be, is in that top 10. That is the type of performance that gets you that sort of lovely, wonderful piano playing, that wonderful music. But now it's time for the bottom 10, Jen Jensen. Oh, it's a little darker down here. This is not so lovely. You heard all those great scores. What's the worst of the worst from Masters in the first round? We're going with the bottom 10, starting at tied for 82nd, Carlos Ortiz 8 over. An absolute disaster class. Shooting 80 on the day. Now we're getting some really names that are hard to pronounce, so this is not just going to be Preston Thorne. Are you looking at it too?
I am looking at it.
Buddy. All right, here goes nothing. Ooh, and tied for 82nd with Carlos Ortiz is Finnish native Sami Välimäki.
With umlauts.
With umlauts. So that would, I guess, be Välimäki.
Shout out to the umlauts, German.
That's right. Frau Jones, I hope you're proud somewhere. Now here's another one, also tied for 82nd. 8 over 80 on the day. FIFA Lauo Pekti.
You know what? If you played better, we'd work on pronouncing your name better.
We get it.
Sorry, Chief, but you don't get the Slayer music because you're playing well. Also tied for 82nd, Robert McIntyre of Scotland. That's a lot easier. He's at 8 over. And now it gets a little scarier because tied for 86, another amateur from America, Brandon Holtz at 9 over. Tied at 86th, Mike Weir from Canada. He's at 9 over, and I don't think he's related to Bob by any means. We might have to fact check that one. Also tied for 86, I believe that's the Argentinian flag, Matteo Pulcini.
That is.
Look at me. Look at this. All right. Tied for 9th. Or 89th, actually. Yeah, 89th. That is not a T. Davis Riley at 10 over. That's good for 82. Oh, goodness gracious. Now we're getting to the two worst because there's a tie for last. It's a total race to the bottom. From Japan, you have Naoki Kitaoka. Kitaoka? Yes, maybe. That's what we're going with. At 12 over and tied with Naoki. From South Africa with shooting an 84 on the day. Good for 12 over. Aldrich Polketer?
Sure.
All right. They are not household names. Let's just say that.
No.
I've gotten beaten up so bad in this.
Those are your Masters updates.
These are the worst from the Masters and the best. Be there. Almost makes me wish we were doing this for tomorrow, too, to see how bad it'd be.
See who would get worse.
See who can get worse. I can't think of anything more nightmarish than going 12 over on the first day and then having the rest of your weekend plans cleared.
Hey, man. Yeah, just let's get it over with earlier.
Because I think I don't know what the cut line is. I don't think it has it here on ESPN what the cut line's going to be, but I have a feeling it's going to be around that 2 over range.
Yeah, I don't think Brendan Holtz is going to make it.
Yeah, I think the homies that are 10 shots back there probably don't have much of a chance. I don't think they're in the best of shot.
But they're in the South, so we can say, bless their hearts.
Bless their hearts. They're here in Augusta for a good time, not a long time.
And they're here for the pimento cheese sandwiches, maybe a little egg salad.
My advice to all of them would be to enjoy the pimento cheese sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big egg salad guy.
No, me neither. Egg, olive, and cheese, yes. Egg salad, no.
Ooh. I've never had that. Never tried it. But my advice to them is be, enjoy the weekend. Let it fly.
Yeah.
Just see how far you can drive the ball. Maybe hit a patron. I don't know. With a golf ball.
Shout out to the patrons that are in Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of folks walking around. Cool. Enjoy the city.
As somebody who lives across the street from an Airbnb, I always know. Even if I was not working in this business and I just had to guess when Masters weekend was, it's always when there's like 2 or 3 cars across the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I told Elijah, shout out to the bros who apparently went to the Masters yesterday, and then I saw them last night at the Juvenile concert. So they had a full day of bro activity.
Ooh, that's a full day.
Oh, they did. That is a full day. That makes me tired just hearing it. Hour number 3 of the early game, third longer, coming up next, where we're going to talk basketball transfer portal, maybe some of the latest developments.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at herndonchevy.com.
There is that big aforementioned golf tournament happening in Augusta. And now, if you were one of those who played over at Pro Swing here this week and you entered yourself to be in the conversation or gave yourself a chance to win the drawing to see if you get tickets to that golf tournament on Sunday, well, today's the day you're going to find out if you win. It's the drawing day, April 10th. Today, the winner will be drawn and announced here on WNKT 107.5 The Game at the Forest Acres location. So make sure you are listening later on today, and you will get at least notified if you are the winner or not. So thanks to everybody who showed up this week to Pro Swing. It's a fantastic place. Even if you're not having a chance to win tickets, highly recommend going over there, using the Golf Zone simulators, playing at over 300 plus courses that are available to you with all game modes, and taking advantage of all of the helpful tips and lessons that they have for you. Hit up Pro Swing, go to ProSwingColumbia.com for more.
CastleBros.com.
Replacing your HVAC system doesn't have to be an emergency. Plan now, pay less later. For a limited time, get $1,500 off a new home comfort system, plus a free 2-year Comfort Club maintenance membership. Visit CastleBros.com.
Plus text and title with approved credit. Call 866-243-4623 for details. Holy cow! JT's Jeep Ram has new Grand Cherokees from $29,990. How about $5,000 more for your trade? 0% for 72 months. A 1,000,000-mile warranty on every new JT's vehicle. Even if your credit's a little cockeyed, JT will get you approved and save you money too. Drive a new Grand Cherokee for $29,990 with a 1,000,000-mile warranty. JT's Jeep Ram, 378 Lexington or Greystone Boulevard. Declaration of Deal Sales Event.
BOGO is back at iMart Express.
Come on. Okay.
Right now, for a limited time only, new customers can buy their first pair of glasses and get a second pair free. Plus, with eye exams available and same-day glasses, you'll never miss a moment. It's the kind of savings and service you can really get used to.
Okay.
Find a location near you at imartexpress.com to shop our BOGO event today and see everything we have in store for you. iMart Express. Get glasses. Go see.
Full Send Golf.
You guys know how much I really, really love golf, and I think every week would be dope to post on the Golf Channel. I want to get a lot of guests on here.
Salim's going to take lead. I'm down to be in it. It's not really work to play golf.
Join the party on the golf course.
I was like, let's go to the range.
Oh.
So what are we putting on it?
We said 10K, right?
10K?
All right. We probably bet more than all the other golf channels, right?
10K,
9 holes. Those guys bet for like cookies.
I feel like I'm going to shank it.
This guy's been trading like a Navy SEAL when it comes to golf.
I'm very, very excited. You excited?
Yeah.
Full Send Golf. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Want to unlock the power of athlete marketing to grow your business? Garnet Trust has recently launched a business membership program, making it easier than ever for your business to work directly with a USC student athlete. Visit GarnetTrust.com today or call 803-250-1765 to see your business boom.
It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow or even free signage for your lot? Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
Faro Road at Pisgah Church Road, there's an accident in that area. Also, I-77 southbound at Faro Road. And one more to let you know about, and that's Veterans Road at Garner's Ferry. And the forecast, yep, we have some warmth on the way. 79 for the high today, 85, 86 Saturday and Sunday, 83 on Monday. We stay in the 80s until Wednesday when we will get into the 90s. No rain in the forecast right now, so definitely outdoor activities. Do be careful. We don't need any fires going on. But right now it's a little chilly, 44 on 107.5 The Game.
Your home for the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game. WNKT Eastover, Columbia. A Cumulus media station. Back to sports. The early game with former Gamecock Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen on the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and the Game TV radio on YouTube.
Worst way to lose. a championship game? We'll definitely have that discussion because I've seen a lot of it already. Would you rather get blown out in a championship game or lose one in gut-wrenching fashion?
Yeah, and I don't know if there's a right answer for that.
I don't know how many good answers there are for that.
You'd rather not lose, but if you had to pick one way, if I had to pick one way or the other, I do think I would prefer to lose in a blowout fashion. Because you can kind of come to grips with, like, for instance, when we watched the game on Sunday, we saw it happening, we saw it going down, and those women, they got over it. They were able to get to the bench, have their moments, and then by the end of the game,
you're kind of settled.
You're settled.
Yeah. Whereas if you lose in heartbreaking fashion and the game's like within some really fine margins, you're going to be kicking yourself over certain mistakes for a long, long time.
Right.
But we'll get into some of those examples, right? Later on for the early game, third and long hour goes deep. But right now, want to reset on two things because the baseball team won last night too. We were on Winnable Series watch yesterday, and after a 5-1 win over Missouri last night, I think we can safely say this is Winnable Series warning.
Winnable Series warning. Now we are on to sweep watch. And we're just going to leave it there. But we're on Winnable Series warning. And this is important because when you look out through the SEC landscape, there aren't many series where you can start the weekend saying this is a winnable series.
And last week, to your credit, they were able to do that against Texas, right? They dominated a game against a top 2 team nationally, but then you weren't able to pull out any other wins after that, which understandable because Texas is that good. I mean, a legit national title contender with maybe the best complete pitching staff when it comes to your starting rotation and your bullpen that you are going to see at any point this season. Like that's understandable. Like I think you're happy just to be able to win one game in that series. Missouri, on the other hand, does not have that same pitching firepower. They are towards the bottom in the SEC in ERA. I think Vanderbilt is the only team that has a worse ERA. Ironically enough, the only team that has a worse ERA in the SEC is the Commodores, and that's been their whole thing is pitching. But it is incredibly winnable, and you did it, even though you didn't hit the ball particularly well when it comes to avoiding strikeouts and things of that nature. You're able to only get 5 hits on the board, but it was enough, right? Patrick Evans got you 2 of those 5, including a ball that he absolutely smashed in the 3rd inning of the game, hitting out to deep left center. That brought home the required runs to be able to win the game. But I think the story of this game is what you got out of Brandon Stone, right? You get 6 innings of work. You strike out 7. You only walk 1. You only give up 2 hits in that time. That is the type of pitching performance you need. And it's not like Missouri, as bad of a baseball program as they are, they can actually hit for contact pretty well. They are middle of the road in the SEC in batting average, middle of the road in on-base percentage. So to be able to kind of just make sure they don't get anything going and you're keeping runners off the bases completely, you do a pretty good job for yourself. And you get out of jams too. Because here's the thing. There were some times where, you walk 3 batters all night, but you also hit 3 batters. And you only give up 2 hits for the game. So it's still a small number of base runners, but that only leads to 1 run during the game. I think a pretty commendable job by the Gamecock pitching staff, specifically Brandon Stone last night.
Yeah, and to build on that point, I think this team is finding their identity. It's just not who they thought they were. Opposite of Denny Green Award. Because
the anti-Denny.
Because they thought they were coming into this season that they were going to probably be a little bit more power-based. They went to the portal, got some guys that could juice it. A lot of things like that. Find out they can't do that. They strike out too much 10 times this particular game.
They did strike out 10 times.
This is the double digits for the 3rd game in a row, I believe. This is kind of becoming who they are. That being said, once you figure that out, maybe you adjust your game plan to that. Maybe we start adapting to more small ball tactics, trying to put the ball in play, changing the strategy as far as their hitting philosophy, because it feels like they're getting some better pitching performances as the season goes along.
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
So maybe this, instead of being a power-based team, maybe to become a pitching and defense first team and let that carry them as opposed to what they thought they were going to be.
And relying on your starter to get you pretty deep into games too. Because, I mean, I think, if you're looking for bright spots on this team, I'm pleased. I would say I am pleased with the starting rotation on the weekend of Josh Gunther, Ant Phillips, Brandon Stone. I think you found your three, right? You're still not scrambling to see who's the best in certain spots. You might pitch Ian Brandon Stone the first night of the week, and then if it's like on a Thursday game, and then Josh Gunther on Friday, and then Ant Phillips on Saturday, to where it's still a comfortable spot for them to manage rest or whatever. But I like those three. I think that if you're going to try to at least salvage whatever you can of this season, your starting pitching is probably going to be the thing that gets you there.
That being said, excuse me, when you have this starting pitching, with Alex Valentin coming in to back it up, right, coming in to either finish the game, coming out of the relief, they have those pieces that are in place. Now they have to figure out the offensive piece because you cannot strike out 10 times in a game.
No. Like that won't get it done. That's still something that really needs to be worked on.
Striking out 10 times in a game without the power, because there is a kind of an offensive baseball philosophy, like we're going to go big game hunting, go deep or go home, that kind of idea. But you can't strike out and also not hit home runs either.
Right. And here's the thing, too. Some of the runs scored in the game, like in the 6th inning, where Luke Uhas reached on a fielding error, kind of got away with it there. Missouri did have 2 errors in the game. You did get a run score by Tyler Bach on a wild pitch in the 8th. You need to be able to add with your bats, with runners in scoring position. Now, it is one thing. It is something to be said about having runners in that position to where if a team does make a mistake, you do make them pay for it. And that type of luck's involved in any baseball game. But you like to see more supplementary runs to where even if it's not a dominant pitching performance, that you're still able to survive it, right? But they play again tonight. That's going to be, you can hear that here on 107.5 The Game, WNKT, starting at 6:45. That is the pregame show. And then first pitch will be at 7. Now, for the men's basketball team, we already have a reported visit, right? You look at someone like Corey Mincy, who's coming in. We broke him down pretty well yesterday for those who missed it. More of a shooting guard than a point guard. Good three-point shooter, 38% on high volume last year. Almost that 40% mark, but he's an 88% free throw shooter. So that tells you that not only is it sustainable, it can even get a little bit better, right, with some development. He's, to me, kind of that prototype of player. It's a scorer that's coming off the bench. Reportedly, there's a lot of interest in Samit Yigitoglu, the center from SMU. 7'2" player, good shot blocker, great rebounder, efficient around the basket. Only flaws are free throw shooting, and I need to watch him more defensively to see how he fits in. But again, if you're a good shot blocker, it at least adds an element of rim protection that you definitely didn't have last year, that you're going to need when you get into the SEC. So you have size and rim protection. If you're able to land him, that would be a pretty solid get. But I had a couple other players that I was really interested in. And I even added an extra one to this list too, but we mentioned the first hour too. I still think you need a point guard. You definitely still need a point guard. You need everything, right? But the point guard is one of the more important things or players that you get here in the portal. And there's one player that played at a high major level as a true freshman that had a high assist rate, was a strong finisher at the rim, and a high steal rate. Even though he played on a bad team defense, the high steal rate tells me that he at least can force some turnovers, even if it is some high risk, high reward type stuff. And that's Caden Mingo, the freshman point guard from Penn State in the transfer portal. Jonathan Gavoni did a really good breakdown of him. He's a really good analyst. He's now at ESPN, started Draft Express. He does a lot of breakdowns of transfer portal players and tracking where they end up going. That was one of the players he highlighted. So you see a couple of clips or whatever. Really shifty, good at finishing around the basket. But my big thing was a high assist rate, and he had a high assist rate in a league that had a lot of really good defenses and really good basketball teams.
Because when Lamont has been successful here, he had a successful point guard.
Yes.
When Lamont has not been successful, we have not had a point guard.
And Talon Cooper came from Minnesota, had one of the highest assist rates in the Big Ten when he got Talon Cooper. It wasn't like Talon Cooper just came from anywhere. I mean, he played high major basketball and was really productive at the Big Ten level, right? That's the type of thing you're going to be searching for whenever it comes down to filling that point guard role. Now, I'm one of those two that just because you played at a high major level and you transferred to another place at a high major level, that it's not going to be automatic success. If you got a point guard from, I'm just going to spitball a random school here, Southern, right? If that guy can play, he can play. And so many of these guys are under-recruited, under-scouted, to where you do find those guys and they can come up another level and be really good. We see that all the time. It is not a prerequisite that you should come from a high major conference like the Big Ten. But when it comes to projecting what you can be at the SEC level, it's easier to project when you do have a season under your belt in the Big Ten.
Basketball question. Is there a position that you feel more comfortable with coming from quote-unquote lower levels up to higher levels, i.e., do big men translate better? Do wings translate better? Do point guards translate better as they're moving up?
It's a great question. I think the ones that I think translate the best are usually either combo guards or big wings, right? When I say big wings, they're players that can play the small forward, shooting guard, or power forward position if you run a 4-out offense, that are maybe a little bigger than the position is. Because a lot of times these guys get under-recruited because they're tweeners, right? Somebody might be 6'7", but played center in high school. Insert hand motion here. But they played center in high school, and they had to learn different positions, so they weren't valued. They get developed at that position, and then they become ready to play at a higher level. A player like Franquan Sherman from Kennesaw State is a player that I think is a good prototype of player to look for, right? A 6'7" player with a lot of positional versatility. Played a lot of different positions at Kennesaw State. They had a starting five of a lot of guys that are of similar size, so they did a lot of switching. They were very, I guess, flexible when it came to where they were playing players this past year. He's a non-3-point shooter, but a good 2-point scorer who's really good at drawing fouls and is a really good free throw shooter, so that kind of takes away, at least minimizes the damage of not having a legit 3-point shooting threat on the floor. But he is one of those players and the few players that is under, 6'9", that is a top 80 offensive and defensive rebounder.
You said offensive and defensive, and I'm going to ask the same question in a different way. Obviously, there's nuance here, but does offense translate better or does defense translate better? Say a guy is a offensive dude at the lower level, will that move up? Or say a dude plays very good defense at the lower level, does that move up?
I would say offense mostly because shooting, right?
Shooting is shooting regardless.
Shooting is shooting, yeah. Do you get more open shots maybe at that level if you're playing at subpar defenses? Yeah, sure. But there is a large element of truth in those numbers that you'll find, right? If somebody is like a 42% three-point shooter in the Southland Conference, maybe they're only a 38 or 39% three-point shooter at a higher level. It just depends, too. Like, that's where the evaluation part is so important because you have to be able to watch. Like, it's one thing to look at the numbers and conclude that someone's a good shooter. But what part of the evaluation process needs to be is look at how they get their shots, right? If it's a lot of off-dribble stuff, you might not be able to get your shot off at an SEC level. But if you're good at running around screens and you're good at being able to leverage your body to where you can come off a screen and catch and shoot really quickly and you have a quick release, that can translate almost directly.
I mean, when you said that, the person that came to mind was Eli Ellis. Because when I watched his overtime elite, there was a lot of off-dribble stuff. Mm-hmm. Bounce, spin, step back, and it never quite translated to the SEC.
It's stuff you can get away with at a certain level that you will not get away with against better athletes and longer-armed defenders. I think that's really the big thing right there. But coming up next, we still talking spring football around here. LaNorris Sellers talked earlier this week. What does he think about the new offense and the tempo and maybe the adjustments on his footwork? Well, we'll hear from LaNorris coming up next here in the early game.
All my sports. The Game Network. 107.5 The Game in Columbia. 96.9 The Game in Charleston. 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. And 100.5 The Game in Florence.
South Carolina head baseball coach Paul Maneri has been let go. Monty Lee is the interim coach, and possible candidates are already emerging.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. We're in week 11, and we're already talking about jobs. What a world we're in.
Keep it here on The Game as we follow every rumor. Girlfriend.
No fluff. No filler.
That's good enough for me.
Your home of all Gamecocks gossip. 107.5 The Game and The Game Network. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at herndonchevy.com. Escape the ordinary and delve into a forest-inspired culinary adventure at The Hollow, right in Columbia's Vista District. The Hollow's Forest-to-Table restaurant serves up rustic American delights, from bison and boar to duck and rainbow trout. Come for the food, stay for the atmosphere. The Hollow's unique 30-foot tree canopy bar and open kitchen views set the stage for an unforgettable experience. Don't skip their half-off happy hour from Tuesday to Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. Enjoy 50% off on signature botanical cocktails, beer, wine, and appetizers. Whether you're unwinding after work or planning a special gathering, The Hollow has you covered. Located at 823 Gervais Street in Columbia, reserve your spot by calling 803-722-4101 or visit them at thehollowsc.com. They're excited to welcome you. The Hollow is our sweet deal of the week. Beginning this Friday at 9 a.m., you can get a $50 gift certificate to The Hollow for just $25. Get yours at 1075thegame.com.
This is Larry Leitner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing, and for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Leitner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
The one and only Monster Jam. See the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks, like Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Sparkle Smash, and more. Only at Monster Jam. Save 25% on face value of a family 4-pack of tickets. Get your savings coupon from participating Texas Roadhouse locations. See coupon for details. Restrictions may apply. Coming to Colonial Life Arena April 18th and 19th.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. My best advice to you when hiring a lawyer for your injury case is simple. If you know court personnel, ask them who they'd hire. They know. If you know an insurance adjuster, ask them. They know. And then ask them about us. Ask them about Morgan & Morgan. They know. I look forward to talking to you soon. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm for the people.
Injured? Dial Pound Law.
Joe Standifer, Esquire, 11915 Plaza Drive, Suite 301, Burroughs Inlet, South Carolina, 29576.
Looking for a dealership that treats you like family? Come to Herndon Chevrolet, where we've been proudly serving Lexington and the Midlands for over 50 years. Whether you're shopping for a new or pre-owned vehicle or just need expert service, you'll find it all right here. Shop online anytime at HerndonChevy.com or stop by and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile, smile.
At AAA Heating and Air, home comfort is their top priority. Call today to schedule a seasonal maintenance appointment. Let AAA Heating and Air qualified technicians put your mind at ease with a thorough inspection and cleaning of your heating and cooling system. Join their popular AAA Comfort Club to take advantage of extras like flexible visits, added discounts, and priority scheduling. Visit callAAAtoday.com to schedule an appointment. Tell them Preston on the Game sent you.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow or even free signage for your lot? Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
Still working an earlier tie-up, Faro Road at Pisgah Church Road. Also, hard scrabble near Lake Carolina Boulevard. I-77 southbound at Faro Road and Veterans Road at Garner's Ferry. As we've mentioned, the forecast a little bit different than it has been. 79 today with lots of sunshine, and that sunshine continues through the weekend, mid-80s. Stay in the 80s into early next week before we dip into the 90s. Right now, 45 on 107.5 The Game.
Elijah Campbell and Jen Jensen. On the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube.
Exciting parts of this season, the upcoming season in Gamecock football, is just the mystery of the offense, right? Now, the mystery maybe leans more towards anxiety when it comes to the offensive line, but I do think from just an aesthetic standpoint, the offense is going to look better, right? And then we'll judge whether or not the numbers measure out as better and the production follows suit. But I think we can agree that the offense is going to look a lot better in more of a college-style offense, a lot of things that just, quite frankly, match your quarterback's skill position better under Kendall Briles than it did under Mike Shula. I think we're operating under that same premise going into the season.
I will go on record today. What is it? April 10th. The offense will be better in every statistical category this year than it was last year.
Oh, I love it.
Bar none. I don't know if it's going to be great. I don't know if we're going, but I know it's going to be better in every single position. Sacks allowed, rushing yards, points per game, yards, passing, every major statistical category, the offense will be better.
And you know what? I have a hard time disagreeing with that just because I do trust the offensive coordinator. I trust the scheme that's in place. I love offenses that are just up-tempo, and if you're up-tempo, you're naturally going to run more plays per game than you normally would in just your standard style offense. So I think there's a good possibility that ends up improving. But when it comes to this offense, we're going to see it centered around the quarterback. And we know what Lenora Sellers' skill set is, right? He's got incredible elusiveness. He is a magician whenever the play breaks down. He's got a really strong arm, and we saw some deep ball accuracy last year. How does that work in an up-tempo system? I think that's one that actually may benefit him a lot more. And just for him personally, right, if we're just talking and isolating about one player here, I think the biggest winner of the hire of Kendall Briles was Lenora Sellers. And this is a very pivotal spring to be able to get him comfortable with the offense.
Yeah, because the idea is that Lenoris has now an offense that is tailored to his skill set, an offense that works within what he's doing, what he's good at, and it's not trying to put him into another idea of an offense. And so, yeah, the immediate beneficiary of having somebody is going to be Lenoris.
Now, this will be cut one from yesterday's list, Jen. Lenoris talked earlier this week. I think he was talking on Wednesday. Asked a lot of questions, but I think the first thing that anybody would want to know with all the newness on the offense here is how Lenoris so far in spring practice has been adapting to the offense, especially with a third offensive coordinator in 3 years.
Yeah, I think just having to learn previous systems in the past, just picking up on new systems gets easier the more you do it. Not that that's necessarily a good thing that you have to learn multiple systems, but it's just easier to pick up and understand like the different concepts and why they call this concept and what they're looking for when they call it.
So he does have experience learning new offenses. So I think the adjustment period isn't going to be as long for him. Also, when you've played football at the college level now at this point, this is, he's a redshirt freshman, then he had a season as a starter and a second season as a starter. This is his fourth off season that he's had. That helps him a lot. Not
to give another shout out to foreign languages because we've been on that kick, but it does make me think about the idea of people who are language learners. Mm-hmm. If somebody can speak Spanish, they probably can speak Portuguese. They probably can, at least I understand how okay, that's the word you use for that.
Yeah, the differences are minuscule.
Right. Or if you know the Germanic languages, then you kind of can get all of those. Same thing with offenses, I believe. Like, okay, I that's not exactly what they called it, but it is in the same ballpark. Okay, let me do a little translation in my mind. I'm figuring things out.
In terms like the concepts too, one word can mean completely different things in different systems, but they also might have like a similar sound.
Similarities. Like it's not quite the exact same, but the way you teach it, I can take it in my brain and translate it to the way you want me to learn it.
So some things may be similar, but I think the biggest difference when it comes to looking at the offense that's going to be run this year is that there is an element of tempo that you did not have last season. And I thought last year when they did go tempo a few times that you got some solid results, right? It just wasn't kind of the keystone foundation of your offense. But it's going to be for this one. Kendall Briles has been on the record, no matter with which type of quarterback he's got, whether it is a KJ Jefferson at Arkansas, which is maybe a little more similar to the scrambling skill set or the athleticism skill set of Lenoris.
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of what KJ's
what his NFL scouting report. Oh, I gotta find that. I'm gonna have, I want to do that during the break.
Weight fluctuates, sloppy in the midsection.
Sloppiness in the midsection. Yeah, if you missed it in the second hour of the show, Cade McDonald, defensive lineman for Ohio State, was described by Dane Brugler as having some sloppiness in his midsection. Weight seemed to fluctuate throughout the season.
It's also KJ Jefferson.
KJ Jefferson might have also gotten bullied in a similar way by NFL scouts when he was, whenever he exited college. But whether it was KJ Jefferson or Josh Hoover at TCU, two completely different type of quarterbacks, they still ran tempo. Kendall Briles is going to run a high-tempo offense wherever it is that he's at. Something else that Lenoris is going to have to get accustomed to. Jen, this will be cut 6 from yesterday's list. This is Lenoris Sellers talking about adjusting to doing that type of tempo more consistently.
Yeah, it's fast. So you don't have a lot of time to think. You're just more reacting. But you know what you're looking for. Defense out of position, just take advantage of where they're not pretty much. Yeah, that's all I really got to say about that.
I love that.
That's all I got to say about that.
Hit him with that Forrest Gump at the end. That's all I have to say about that. But I mean, there's a lot of truth there too, because when you are moving that fast, you can't be a slow processor. You have to kind of think on the fly. It is more reading and reacting instead of trying to survey the entire field. You get up to the line of scrimmage, you see where maybe somebody's out of position, and you can go ahead and lock in on maybe that receiver or that part of the field where it's not going to be covered as adequately because you have gotten them out of sorts with your tempo.
We had some time, and this is strictly high school now. We had some time where we flirted with air raid type offense, or air raid tempo type of offenses.
Oh, buddy, I would have loved that.
There's a concept called the gift, and the gift is essentially whatever they give you, you take. If they're playing back, you throw the short. If they're playing short, you throw the deep. And so there's definitely concepts in that where whatever it takes the processing time out, I know what they're giving us, I'm just going to take the opposite. Sort of the same concept of putting the player in conflict. Yeah. Whatever they give you, we're just going to take the opposite. And so the fact that we will never be wrong and you will never be right if things are working.
And that's what you dream of as an offense in any sport, really, right? It's not just football isolated, basketball, hockey. Whatever you can do to get the defense out of shape or out of sorts, if they're going to give you something, that's your way to win. Let them pick what their poison is. Mm-hmm. And if that's executed well throughout the season, then you will see exactly what you have forecasted, which is an uptick in points per game, rushing yards per game, passing yards per game. You name it, all the fun offensive stats should see an increase. And with a quarterback like Lenoris Sellers, who is going to be in his 4th year playing college football, well, they're a 3rd year playing and starting, 4th year in a college football program, then you can see somebody mature enough to be able to adapt to that pretty well, maybe more so than other players might when, tasked with learning this kind of offense. But coming up next, 3rd and Long Hour goes deep. This week we've been talking about teams that fall 1 game short. Is it better to lose in a blowout, or is it better to lose in heartbreaking fashion where you contended? We will tackle that philosophical question coming up next here on the early game.
Wow, what a play! The Game Network. Columbia, Charleston, Florence, and Myrtle Beach.
Since that win at Clemson by the Gamecocks, things haven't gone well. And when things don't go well, it's time to look back on the days when things were well. Yeah, let's spin back to the good old days on the Game Network.
Line drive, right field, base hit. South Carolina wins the College World Series.
Sellers in the pocket. Up in the pocket, gonna run inside the 20, 10. Lenoris Sellers going left side, 5. Touchdown, Carolina. Touchdown. Touchdown, Lenoris Sellers. From 20 yards out, the Gamecocks take the lead at Death Valley.
Now that's some good feels right there. From 107.5 The Game and the Game Network.
Well, if your house needs a little bit of cleaning, you need to run a little bit of an up-tempo offense right now and call my friends over at Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Because right now, all you got to do for the month of April is mention our station, 107.5 The Game, to get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned, plus a free hallway for just $109. And for a limited time, you can take $100 off the air duct cleaning. The reason you should go up tempo is because slots are filling up incredibly fast here in the month of April. So do not wait. Go ahead and give them a call today, 803-262-4020, or you can always schedule online at zerorescolumbia.com. Take advantage of that patented zero water technology. It just means no soap, no residue, no harsh chemicals, just carpets that are soft, fluffy, and stay cleaner longer than with anybody else. Take care of that spring cleaning chore and call Zero Res Columbia today.
By Castle Brothers Home Services, castlebros.com.
Most HVAC system breakdowns don't happen at once. They start small, then fail when the peak weather hits. Fix it before it fails. Get a $59 AC system check, plus save 15% on same-day repairs. Visit castlebros.com.
The future stars of the PGA Tour are coming to Columbia. The Colonial Life Charity Classic is bringing championship golf to the Wood Creek Club May 14th through 17th. Be there to experience the intensity up close as tomorrow's champions battle it out on every hole. Bring the family and take in the tournament atmosphere, excitement, and a full week of entertainment built for all ages. Don't miss your chance to witness the journey to the top. The Colonial Life Charity Classic. Get your tickets now.
When a plumbing problem shows up, you call OnCall Plumbing, Heating, and Air. From dripping faucets, clogged drains, to water heater service line repairs, and emergency plumbing. Our licensed technicians provide fast, dependable service you can trust. Don't wait for a small issue to turn into a costly repair. Call OnCall today at 803-781-HELP.
On-call plumbing, heating, and air. Pick up the phone and we'll be right there. Call 781-HELP.
Powered by Integrated Media. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass.
Learning to drive, getting married, the birth of your children. These are the life-changing events you remember your whole life. I'm Jason Reynolds. A serious injury changes your life too, in a very different way.
I'm Stephen Samuels. At the Samuels Reynolds Law Firm, we get you. We can't erase the injury or change the past, but we can get you through the pain and anxiety and help you on to a brighter future.
We get South Carolina because we're true South Carolina. Samuels Reynolds. True injuries, true lawyers. 803-779-4000.
This is Larry Leitner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing. And for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Leitner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
Powered by Integrated Media. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. Shepherd's Glass. It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow or even free signage for your lot? Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
Blythewood Road near Syrup Mill Road, an accident there. Also Hardscrabble Road near Lake Carolina Boulevard. And a report of a disabled vehicle could be slowing things down a bit. I-20 westbound before Alpine Road. And yep, that forecast, it's going to be warm and it's going to be dry. 79 with sunshine today, sunshine throughout the weekend and into the start of next week. We're going to be in the mid-80s tomorrow and Sunday. Right now, still a little bit cool though, but the sun is shining. It's 46.
former Gamecock Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen on the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube.
Third and long goes deep. This is our last part on our series of losing championship games because with South Carolina's women's team falling short of a national title this past Sunday in blowout fashion to UCLA, and really it's happened for the second straight year, we wanted to take a look throughout the entire week at the psyche of teams that do experience tough losses in championship games. We've talked about the teams that make their way back and stay in contention year after year, teams that make it and lose but never find their way back. We've covered this on a lot of different angles, but I wanted to end the series this week talking about the philosophical question. If you get to that point, in the season where it is winner take all, do you feel better as a fan or player if you get beat, kind of like how the women's team got beat on Sunday, where the second half is, you pretty much know the outcome of the game by midway through the third quarter? Or do you take more solace in knowing that you were only a play or two away from being able to win the game? Because for the longest time, for me personally, Preston, I was always one of those, I would hate to get blown out in that game because I don't know if my ego could handle just getting beat like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a personal torture that kind of goes with replaying games in your mind when you're only a play or two away.
Yeah, when you can point to maybe those one or two plays. Obviously, no play wins or loses a game. As a coach, you always want to try and make yourself believe that. But if you're the player that dribble the ball off your foot with 2 minutes left, you're going to be thinking, like, I did that.
Or if you're Chris Webber and you call a timeout and you don't have any timeouts
Come on,
left.
right? So I think for me, and I think I might have come towards this because I think I was always like to the same point. I don't want to get blown out, whatever the case is. But I think if you get blown out, and maybe this is just me having perspective of sports. I don't know if I would have had this perspective when I was younger. Sometimes it's just not your night or your day or whatever the case is. And in a one-game sample size, anything can happen. And we just went out there and got blown out. As I was saying before, also, like in the basketball game, there's an element of reckoning that you get a chance to deal with. And Dawn did it well. She took them out early, gave them a chance to go to the sideline. Don't cry on camera. Put the towel over your head. Do whatever you need to do. But by the end of the game, I've accepted that fact that we didn't get it done today.
The level of acceptance happens a little bit sooner in the process as opposed to losing at the last second and sitting in that and, coming to grips with it as you're walking off the floor.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what the other side is too? To be honest, it kind of tempers the other team's celebration also. Because, like, UCLA is celebrating, but we knew this was happening. So when the buzzer goes off, it's like, all right, yay. But it's not like, it's not the same immediate jolt of emotion.
Like when Villanova beat North Carolina in that national championship game where Chris Jenkins hits the shot at the buzzer. I have a lot of friends that are UNC fans. I felt sick for them. I'm not gonna lie. I saw it go in. I was like, "Oh, that's tough."
Or the idea like this past Final Four when St. John's hits that shot and Pitino walks off and he's kind of like, whew. And it's like, man, I know the emotions of this moment. I don't want to necessarily, but like inside, I'm going crazy.
You're going nuts. Yeah.
But I don't think that happens when you have the blowout. I think, but maybe that's just rationalization. I don't know.
And I'm trying to think, I was trying to go through like my mental exercise of what's the worst way to lose a game. Like blown leads are one thing. Like the Falcons losing a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl is always going to go down as one of just the most gut-wrenching ways.
Because you feel it.
Especially in that game too. I think after like that first Patriots score, I was like, don't play around. And then it kept getting closer and closer. And by the time it was even like a 2-score game, I was like, I wouldn't feel good about this.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't feel good about it at all. Or I think one thing that might have topped it for me is if I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, the Scott Norwood missed field goal as time expires in the Super Bowl might be the worst because you are the team in position where all you got to do is make this kick that you make all the time. And to see it get pushed wide, that one was wide left or wide right, I think. I think that one was wide right. Seeing it kind of push too far wide when you are the team in control has to be the worst way.
Yeah, you just triggered something in me. 02, South Carolina versus Georgia. We're going down. This is the David Pollack game. We've overcome all these obstacles. We still have a chance to win. Go for 2 at the end of the game. It's wide open, run a pitch option, fumble. I mean, he could have, if he just catches the ball. If Pennock, one of the best to ever do it here, 14-year NFL career. If he catches the ball, he could moonwalk into the end zone. And it's like, oh.
To me, that's the level of loss that is significantly worse than just losing like a close game like that, right? Where, especially when you have the ball, offense or like in football, basketball, you name it. If somebody else just makes a play, yeah, it stings. You can kind of live with it, you know? I remember Jordan Poole hit a shot when he was playing at Michigan against Houston the second round as time expires from like 40 feet. And it's like, what else can you do? You know, the guy just, hit an incredible shot, or the other team just made an incredible play. But when you are the one and you create an advantage and it doesn't work out, I think that is like a different tier of heartbreaking loss.
Yeah, there's a tough spot there. Then we just have in this NCAA tournament where I forget who it was going to hit the shot and it rimmed.
Oh, Vanderbilt in Nebraska, yeah.
All the way, it was almost down. I mean, Flagey, that happened with LSU.
Well, this year when they played South Carolina, you had your best player on the free throw line for 2 shots, and it didn't go down. Like that one's pretty brutal. That's a heartbreaker. But imagine if Vanderbilt hit that shot against Nebraska. If you're Nebraska, it's like, that's one of the most heartbreaking losses ever. But you're not beating yourself over it because that's a once-in-a-lifetime caliber shot. We'll go to the AAA Heating and Air phone lines real quick. Steve from Myrtle Beach wants to weigh in. Steve, we got about a minute for you. What's up, good sir?
The only time they were the better team in the Super Bowl was that first year when the Giants beat them. But let's not forget the redemption story because Aaliyah Boston, when she, missed that tap in, and then the next year we win the national championship. But that one and the push off at Clemson, those kind of jerked my guts out. But anyway, y'all take care and have a good weekend.
Appreciate you, Steve.
Absolutely. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, that Aaliyah Boston one, oh my God.
Put that in that category.
Straight there.
Because, I mean, she had that ball where she scores 9.5 times out of 10. I felt sick for watching that game. I was doing a live radio show that night in Nashville.
You
and I
get
had
the
game
steal.
on TV.
Bree Bill's going down. She misses the layup that she doesn't miss. Then Aaliyah misses the putback that she doesn't miss. And it's like, no.
We were in the middle of a commercial break, and I remember I'm standing up, and I have no emotional connection to Stanford or South Carolina. I'm watching this game because I've been so locked in on it because that was a great basketball game. And when Aaliyah missed that shot and it showed her like tearing up, I wanted to tear up. I was like, no, I'm so sick for her. Oh, that was a gut-wrenching loss, but she got her lick back the next year.
Absolutely.
She got her ring. She was able to put one on her finger there. That's the early game, third long hour goes deep. Talking about losers in championship games. We'll give you our winners for today's show, brought to you by the Golden Spur, coming up next.
All my sports. The Game Network. 107.5 The Game in Columbia. 96.9 The Game in Charleston. 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. And 100.5 The Game in Florence.
If the Gamecocks hit a grand slam, you can win cash. It's the Crescent Construction Grand Slam Giveaway. If the Gamecocks don't hit a grand slam, the pot goes up $25 a game. Just go to 1075thegame.com to register.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Well, you've been paying a lot of money to watch the NFL, and the Department of Justice wants to fix that. They're throwing a flag on the NFL's media empire, and sources confirm the DOJ has launched an antitrust probe into the league's television deals, investigating whether the shift to fragmented, high-priced streaming services violates anti-competitive laws. Please tell me it does. I'm Drake Toll.
Spring's the season to plant, grow, and glow up. Save on gardening staples from Lowe's during Mulch Week with Stay Green Premium 2 cubic foot mulch. 5 bags for $10 and select 1 pint annuals for $1. Plus, rewards members get 5 times the points on an eligible mulch purchase because you know how we roll. Members get more at Lowe's. Valid for 4/15 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Point boosters subject to exclusions and more terms apply. Activation required.
What's up, Boost? Main event Jey Uso here from the WWE. When it's just me between matches, it's day one-ish. And that means it's Chumba time. With hundreds of casino-style games and new titles arriving weekly, there's always something fresh to try at Chumba Casino. The Daily Boost make it even more fun. And have me about to get them all during my downtime. Ready for a fun way to chill out and enjoy a few minutes for yourself? Let's chump.
Sponsored by BGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in the state where it's legal to play.
Don't let the insurance companies intimidate you. We'll take them to court. We got a $2.4 million verdict for a client who was hurt in a car wreck. Good heavens, dial all sevens now.
To get your attorney, dial 800-ALL-7s now.
The Anastapula Law Firm has been recovering millions for their clients for over 30 years. Their South Carolina personal injury attorneys have experience fighting for the rights of their clients. Remember, don't scream, call Akeem. Dial 800-ALL-7s now.
Herb Glass is responsible for this ad, and cases are handled at 32 Ann Street, Charleston, South Carolina, 29403. Paid endorsement, not actually client. Results may vary.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
As a parent, when you send your kid off to school in the morning, you know that they're going to be learning, they're going to be spending time with their friends, but a new study out of UCSF found adolescents are spending an average of 70 minutes of their school day on their phones. Now, some kids will say they need their phones to help with schoolwork, but this study found that they were spending the vast majority of their screen time on TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat. Not really apps that you're going to be turning to for homework help. Now, the study's lead author said, don't blame kids for using their phones at school. Teach them how to resist them. Focus on what they'd get by putting them aside rather than what you're taking away. Explain how phones could hurt their academic performance, and also remind them of this. Nothing takes the place of real face-to-face friendships. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Do you have sagging, soft, or bouncy floors in your home? Well, this could be a sign of rotten wood caused by moisture in your crawl space. Damaged wood in your crawl space can affect your home's foundation, and that can affect your home's value, and nobody wants that. Say goodbye to sagging floors and hello to a stable foundation. Contact Canty today for your free inspection at 803-424-8380 or visit CantyCanFixIt.com.
The Early Game. With former Gamecocks Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen. On the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and the Game TV radio on YouTube.
It is more about them than it is about the team. Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it. I want winners. Winners.
Winners for you, Coach Singletary, brought to you every day by the Golden Spur. And I would be remiss if I didn't make my golden winner of today. The body shaming that goes on in NFL scouting reports when it comes to prospective players in the NFL draft. Because here's some of my favorites from Dane Brugler's The Beast Draft Guide, which again, I know we're making fun of it, but in all seriousness, it's the best of the best. If you want to get an idea of this player without doing the hours and hours and hours required of film crunching to be able to get the same intel that NFL teams do, Dane Brugler's got you. But the way he describes some of the deficiencies in the bodies of players is unmatched. Because according to him, Ruben Bain is pear-shaped body and below average arm length. Caden McDonald, defensive lineman from Ohio State, he's got some sloppiness in his midsection.
That's my guy.
Weight seemed to fluctuate throughout the season.
Winner, weight fluctuating.
Celebrating wins the right way.
Hey, man, what you want me to do? You think I'm just supposed to win all these games and stick and go get a grilled chicken breast? Get out of here, man.
Get out of here. Yeah.
Come on.
No. There are late night places that are going to have some of the best, greasiest food I could ever have access to. And poor Chase Basantis, offensive guard from Texas A&M, was called short-armed and barrel-chested.
It's my guy. Hey, listen, that's not a negative.
Like, to me, that's a positive.
Yeah, you talk about an interior O-lineman, you say he's barrel-chested. I'm here for it.
And if Sir Mix-a-Lot was drafting an NFL team, he would not draft Markel Bell, offensive tackle from Miami, because he was considered to have an underdeveloped bubble with most of his weight above his belt.
Well, speaking of bubble, I went to the Juvenile concert last night, and bucket list achieved to hear Back That Thing Up in a crew of Colombians celebrating the 9-9 to the 2000. And shout out to you, Juvenile, because you put on a solid show. But more importantly, man, you came on time, 9:15 on the dot, and we were home in our house at 11:15. Hour and 15-minute show, packed with the hits. And listen, check this out. He said, I know what y'all want to do. Y'all want to hear the hits. And he just went straight to the hits, man.
My guy, some self-awareness. This is amazing.
Like, I know you got a new album out. It's cool, but y'all want to hear the hits. I think he even said, he's like, I got a new album out. Y'all check it out when you want to, but we here for the hits.
My guy.
Come on, man.
A+, Juvenile.
A professional.
Winner. Also, winners, KYP. Know your personnel. And you know what? That man went into that arena or into the Senate last night, and he knew his personnel.
Very much so. He said, I know how old I am, so I know how old y'all are. We got to go to work tomorrow.
I ain't keeping y'all out here past midnight.
Shout out to Juvie.
Game.
Shout out to Juvie.
Oh, respect. Also, winner, fake names in Preston Thornton for acing. We might have established that it was a B getting 5 out of 7, but you aced it in my book because I gave Preston Thornton in the morning meeting a list of names. He had to tell me if that was a Masters participant, an IndyCar driver, or a made-up name. 5 of 7.
With some assistance, I used all available resources, which might have been calling a lifeline in the form of Jen Jensen. But yeah, we did all right. It was very interesting as we got towards the bottom of that Masters list. Yeah, I didn't know none of those guys. I knew the top 10 guys, but that bottom list was oof.
Oh, when we did our unique twist on a Masters leaderboard, we did a leaderboard of the top 10 and then the bottom 10. Definitely different tone for that one. Yeah, I couldn't even pronounce the names there. I was the sacrificial lamb. You can't do a leaderboard without trying the name.
Yeah.
So for those gentlemen, I'm sorry. You're winners for at least being in the Masters. Losers, that your punishment for being in the bottom 10 of the Masters is having your name completely ruined by me on air.
Can we make a non-informational, non-knowing Masters winner pick right here? See what comes back on Monday? What you got?
Okay. I'm going to go with, and I don't know what the historical precedent is for where guys are after day one and if they end up actually winning this thing, but I'm going to roll with, and I don't want to say Rory, even though Rory, good for him, tied for first after day one. I'm going to go with Patrick Reed because it's going to make Jay Phillips incredibly angry.
He doesn't like him?
Oh, that's the bane of his existence. Jay Phillips doesn't have a long list of sports villains. Well, Patrick Reed is number one on that.
Yeah, and there's good reason.
Yes, and very good reason. Patrick Reed, not known as a stand-up dude. Villains win a lot in life, so I'll
Here's the thing, man. Anybody can make my sports villain list. I'll put you on the list regardless.
For anything.
But if you're on Jay Phillips' list,
I hate you too.
You've earned it.
I don't even like doing it. I'm doing it as a bit. I am picking Patrick Reed for the bit because if Jay Phillips don't like you, then I shouldn't like you. How about that?
I'm going to go with, I believe it was Tommy Fleetwood.
Yes. Oh, his son Frankie Fleetwood, future Masters winner.
Go with Tommy Fleetwood. He's tied for 10th right now. We'll see how this turns out.
Maybe the 2046 Masters winner was taking shots in practice round.
Mm-hmm.
Frankie Fleetwood. But yeah, also Tommy, really good golfer. He's only, 4 shots behind today.
Mm-hmm.
And if you love a good story, Gary Woodland, he's at 1 under 2, tied with Tommy Fleetwood. I did see a thing on ESPN, a story Jeff Darlington did, where he had to have brain surgery to remove a mass there.
Okay.
And he has been out of the sport for a little bit.
I changed my pick.
Masters since then.
I've changed my pick.
That is cheering for the story.
I will now cheer for him.
Gary Woodland, winner. Tyler Head, also a winner, and he's next. We'll see you Monday morning at 6 a.m.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7.